everybody. Thank you for coming out to our council meeting. I see some people out here. One person I'd like to recognize, Commissioner Reinhardt. Thank you for coming out, sir.
Hey, now you're both ours.
Right?
Oh, we'll start to watch his heart for Chris.
Thank you. Thank you. I was supposed to get started, but the secretary just disappeared on me. Oh,
Signing sheets.
anyway, thank everybody for coming out tonight. Mayor Riggs is going to be absent tonight, so you're going to have to put up with me. Council, you're going to have to put up with me tonight.
No problem.
All right. What is the time, please?
6:33.
6:33. Meeting comes to order at 6:33. Roll call. Mayor Riggs is absent tonight. Councilwoman Peoples.
Here.
Councilman Wallace.
Here.
Councilman Park is here. Councilman Garza.
Here.
Councilman Lane.
Here.
Secretary Liz.
Here.
Okay. Okay, I'd like to start this with the invocation and pledge.
Will you bow your heads and pray? Heavenly Father, thank you on behalf of all who are gathered here today. Thank you for the ability to be involved in useful work and for the honor of bearing appropriate responsibilities. I pray for our Mayor Pro Tem, Council, and for the various levels of city officials, and in particular this assembled council. I pray for the agenda set before them today. Please give the assurance of what would please you and what would benefit those who live and work in and around our beloved city of Romn Forest. I pray for our military currently serving and for those who have served, and also pray for our police who protect us unselfishly. It is in your blessed name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge of our country and our state. Our country.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Okay, we have no public discussions. Let's move right on to approval of city minutes. Regular council meeting November 11th, 2014.
Mayor Pro Tem, I make a motion to accept the minutes of November 11th, 2014.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilman Wallace to accept the minutes of November 11th, 2014 as written.
This has to be Councilman Carr, Wallace, and Peoples for those minutes.
Yes, that's what I was looking for.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a second. I have a first by Councilman Wallace, second by Councilwoman Peoples. And is there any discussion on this? All in favor? Councilman Wallace, Councilwoman Peoples. And it has to be me. You guys can't vote on
You
it.
guys have to abstain.
So I will vote for it. Councilman Barr will vote for it. So it is unanimous. You have to abstain, guys, because y'all weren't there. Yes, okay. So we good with that? Motion carries. Okay. You're taking those two, right?
We do, but we didn't have a quorum.
Okay. Special 18th, 2014. The people that were present: Mayor Ricks, Meade, Sudbury, Wallace, Baker, Peoples, and Secretary. So, out of that, we can do this, right?
Yes, we do 3 again.
Yeah, no, we did 3 again. Okay, approval of minutes. I need a first approval of minutes, November 18, 2014.
Mayor, I make a motion to accept the minutes of November the 18th as written.
Motion by Councilman Wallace to accept November 18, 2014 minutes as written. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Councilwoman Peoples. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor? And it is unanimous. You guys abstained, right? Okay, now we move into
1 more minutes.
1 more minutes. Regular council meeting, December 9th, 2014. People present: Mayor Ricks, Councilman Wallace, Councilman Garza, Councilman Mullane, City Secretary Mullane, Councilwoman Peoples. Oh, I wasn't there. Councilman Parr were absent. Okay, I need anyone who wants to make a motion to accept minutes.
You want to make a correction real quick?
I'll misspell his name.
Misspelled my name.
I will correct that before we sign them in the morning. Where is it at?
Yeah, where's that?
Hey,
City.
you have to sign up if you want to
All right.
speak.
Citizens to be
Total
heard.
discussion.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from December 9th.
Motion, Councilman Lane to accept the minutes as written for December 9th, 2014. Do I have a second?
Second the motion.
Second by Councilman Garza. Any discussion? Other than you? All right, all those in favor? Garza, Councilman Garza, Councilman Lane, Councilwoman Wallace, and I think you all were not here.
This is what happened when
Four.
council meetings.
Abstentions. Councilman Peoples, Councilwoman Peoples, Councilman Parr. All right, motion carries. Accepted. Okay, that moves us into city business of the day, department reports, building department.
We had 1 permit issue in December.
Okay, we have one permit issued in December, logging permit on December 31st on Catacombs for $325. Any questions, council? On our permits? Nope, okay. Police department, Chief Carlisle, you're up.
You have 5 minutes.
5 minutes. I only got a few things.
5 minutes.
I just want to let y'all know that this I just started the official meetings of it and everything, and the sheriff department has advised us that they're switching their CAD, which is computer-aided dispatch program, and they're combining the RMS, which is records management system altogether. A company called Spillman, or software is called Spillman. And I have no idea how much it's going to cost. It's going to force us to go with it because we can't afford to have our own dispatch. tax and everything, so heads up, I'll keep y'all advised of how that works out. I hope it doesn't cost us much more than what we already pay. Also, the new city council, the Patch City Council has a little token, it's like a little badge, it's round, it goes in their wallet. They pay for that out of their own pocket. So if you two want to get with me, and I can order that for you. I don't remember what it costs, it was under $100 for a wallet and a little badge. Also, I need to update everybody's ID, which I'm having some problems with the ID. The company that we use to do the ID, they, for some reason, my computer won't talk to their computer. And we're trying to figure that out. I'm considering going to the sheriff department. They do IDs that have the same equipment as the company that we pay to do it. And the lieutenant says that I gotta get the sheriff's approval. So I'll meet with the sheriff sometime this month, and hopefully we'll get that back going. But in the meantime, tonight, before you leave, if I can pull that screen down, snap a picture, with a white background, and then I can have that ready to go whenever I need it. I think all your IDs are expired, and y'all do need new IDs. And it was an honor for y'all to put it on us, on the police department, to do the yard decoration judging. So that was a real good honor. It was fun, and we all enjoyed it. The first place was 2438 Centurion Circle. Second place was 2007 Athens. I really liked that one because it had a hologram of Santa Claus putting trees, Christmas toys or whatever under the tree. It was pretty neat. And then third place was 2318 Centurion Circle. The way we tallied up the votes, there was actually two third place that scored the same. I knew what Dennis would say if I went and told him that, so he did. He said to give it to the other person. He gets it every year, so it doesn't hurt anybody. So I'm proud to say that I attended the assassinated New York officers, Lou and Ramos' funeral in New York. I wouldn't have been able to go if it wasn't for JetBlue Airlines. They provided my flight. The New York Police Department was really great. They drove me around town, they fed us and all that. And Councilman Mullane, he helped with a lot of the expenses. So I really appreciate that, Councilman.
Thank you.
And we lost another officer this past month. He went to the city of Montgomery. He was a good officer, Chris Carswell officer. Most everybody got used to him for a while. Got used to him anyway. It was really black and white on the stop signs. But anyway, he went to the city of Montgomery. They're going to be better off having him. He was a good officer. And he was replaced by a really good officer too, Mark DeBell. He was from Wood Branch. We didn't have to hardly train him at all. I know a lot of you know Mark DeBell because he used to be a mechanic before he was a police officer. He was a local mechanic here. And I was really impressed that we go around and he knows everybody. So I like that. It's good community policing. So I believe that we have the absolute best team of officers that we've ever had. So I think he's going to work out really well. And Christmas time, we introduced Sergeant Claus. He's our newest member of the force, and I really appreciate Elizabeth Atkinson. She made it's kind of like a hybrid between Santa Claus and a police uniform. And he was real popular, he got a lot of attention. We brought him to 2 events this year. Next year, hopefully, we'll be able to bring him a lot more events. And I don't know if anybody knows this or not, but I'm an auditor. I audit police departments throughout the state. And next week, I'm going to Angleton Police Department. And I really feel honored that they'll let me in their agency to audit. I usually learn more than I'm doing them any good. I learn a lot by going to these agencies. So anyway, that's all I have. Y'all have any questions for these stats I've provided you?
I like these new reports.
Any suggestions that you have, I would like to have them now because next month I'll be reporting January. I'd like to have a fresh start for the year. So if y'all want anything put in there, let me know. This month preferably, that way when I'm totally all up insert in here, is the East Montgomery County Municipal Utility District Police Activity Report. We only did a half a month this month, so there's a little report. I probably need to perfect it, but that's a start. And the next month will be a full month. Have you got any other questions? Don't forget to give me about the little token, 3 badges, if you want me to order one. Y'all have one, y'all want to show them what it looks like.
Mine's in the truck, but, the city pays for mine and everyone else.
Oh, did the city pay?
Yes.
I think the city pays for the token, but if they want the wallet, they pay for it.
Okay, I knew there was something like that. So I didn't want to promise that the city paid for it if that didn't. So
Well,
I guess if the city paid for it.
It comes in very handy,
Right.
like being what the bank, taking care of city business, you have that, and it goes a long ways.
Does anybody have one, Henry?
Oh, Eileen has hers.
Yeah, I think that's one.
I was just looking. You
Yeah,
had
it has a little wallet and it's got
Yeah.
little bitty, it looks like a coin kind of.
You want to pass that down?
And it just says that you're a city councilman. And of course, it goes along with your ID.
You can get it out of the machine over at Chuck E. Cheese.
I'm sure it comes in convenient when you get pulled over too.
No, actually not.
No, we
That might
don't.
hurt you.
Get my flashlight real quick.
It's got a flap like that, like,
Any other questions?
I mean, it may be mine, I hope it was. Anyway, any more questions for Chief Carlisle? Next, Chief.
Thank you.
All right, maintenance, city pool, maintenance, let's do maintenance. Okay, do y'all, council, do y'all have the maintenance report that Mayor brought me to my office yesterday?
we got it today, it was in my packet. Yeah, this Friday.
Okay, well, just look over it, and if anybody has any questions for Liz, let's ask her.
So you're saying you want to read those?
No, I don't want to read it, but y'all read it, if we have any questions.
Well,
I mean, page 1 is, well, half of page 1 is what he has accomplished, and the next 2.5 pages is what he needs to do.
No,
Or not, I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
he's completed some of the other ones on page 2 and 3.
Okay,
I have a question.
oh, go ahead, Tom, yes, absolutely.
What's going on with the pavilion? I'm sure this is probably in here, but I haven't read it. We've got some work going on in the pavilion, I think. Does anyone know what's going on?
Yes, we are getting ready for the demolition of the pavilion to put the new pavilion in. And Glenn is taking whatever is salvageable off of the pavilion now.
So all those that are not aware of what's going on, city secretary has filed for 2 grants.
Yes.
And it looks like we're gonna have grants for the new pavilion with restrooms.
Excuse me, the pavilion grant was granted last year, and we held off on it to leverage that against a Texas Parks and Wildlife grant, and I've got an update in my admin report. They're having a public hearing on the Texas Parks and Wildlife grant in Austin, I think on the 23rd of this month and 22nd. I'm hoping that's when they tell everyone whether they're granted or not. So we will know shortly whether we can have new park equipment and exercise equipment. So everyone just keep their fingers crossed.
That will be nice, yeah.
So who's building the pavilion? Who's building the pavilion?
We'll go in with the,
Well, thank you. What kind of warranty do we get on?
what kind of what?
Warranty. I'm just messing.
On the roof.
5 minutes or 5 miles, huh? Whichever comes first.
That's gonna look so nice.
Yeah.
It's a good idea, it's gonna look so nice. We have the drawings, the layout, of what it's gonna look like. It's gonna be fantastic.
Just let everybody know.
Thanks, Stevie, for that.
Thank you.
Now, as far as the total demolition, I know Glenn can't do it by himself, and there's limited dollars in the rebuild budget for the demolition of it. So if anyone would like to volunteer to help tear down the pavilion, push it over with a tractor, whatever that may be, we're gonna get a dumpster. So, just come call my office and we'll set up a date and time for everyone to come throw a sledgehammer at it.
You said the dumpster's $500?
According to the dumpster, it's about $500 a dump, every time they dump it.
I think I was looking today, they're $523 a dump now, plus I'm gonna try to get away delivering it. I think one will easily take care of
How many yards is that?
it. Over 30 yard.
Are they TDG or are y'all using the,
So same ones I got on all my sites here from
okay.
north.
Well, because Mayor and I discussed yesterday, a lot of the stuff that we pull out of there may be able to be taken to a recycle. And it can go back into the city funds.
Yeah,
So we
that's
talked
all
about,
metal.
it is all metal, and so we talked about, but not bringing it to City Hall, we talked about stacking it down there by the burn pile until we can get it all done.
Get it on a trailer and take
And
it.
then get it on a trailer and take it, yeah.
I think he's pulling everything off that's recyclable. I think with stuff like, the stuff that's gonna come out of the bathroom, the wall, I don't think, well, most of that,
Yeah.
we can burn it, I guess.
Uh,
No, we can't burn it.
Actually, no, Gordon,
Darn.
leave that to the home builder over there. No, we can't do that.
Do you know who you're
But we need to recycle the metal, we need to actually have maintenance, so actually load that up once we're done and take it and turn it in.
Well, I thought that was given to him, is what I thought, that he was tearing down.
That's
Isn't
my
that what he's doing?
understanding.
He's taking it?
No,
He's not?
he's not taking it.
Okay.
No, that's city property, it's gonna be stacked and reclaimed, and we will decide where to roll that $30 back into.
Use that to build a carport or something, right?
We could, actually we could, I don't know what kind of shape it's in, so it's on the ground where we can look at it, so.
Chris?
Well-
I noticed one thing yesterday, I looked at the building, I didn't realize that, it's on septic up there, I don't know if you guys do that, that's not on city sewer. And, it drains out the back, there's a lid there, it's never been an issue, but,
Really?
yeah.
I did not know
I didn't know
that.
that either, till you-
I did not know that. That is an issue.
it could become an issue down the road.
Sure. it could.
Well, I mean, you're surrounded by sand, I don't think you're ever gonna have any standing water. That sand
Yeah.
absorbs any liquids.
And
How much is
I don't know what kind of
it?
septic system it is.
Other than, you know, the solid shit.
there.
You think you would have to get it all out?
I guess it was on septic, back in the septic.
Oh,
You go backwards, it's behind the building.
Yeah, have to look at it, see.
Go ahead, Councilman Wallace, go ahead.
I would like to thank the previous council and the current council. Our city park, our pool is the best it's ever been since it was new. It's up to code. We have removed all playground equipment that could hurt someone. And now we are having a new pavilion put in. And I want to thank y'all, everyone. Great things.
Good job. Okay, are we, I just asked just one question on maintenance, but
I do too.
the rest of this list, has it been taken care of?
Some of it, we are waiting, for instance, the leak in the police department. We're waiting to see if we get a heavy rain, if it leaks again, before we fix the sheet rock over there. We did put up additional exit signs, but they're not illuminated. And by code, they have to be illuminated.
Yes, they have to be.
So I don't know if those have a battery they just need in there, or,
They have to be illuminated, yes, you're
right,
right.
so those aren't illuminated, and there's not smoke detectors in every office in the PD like they should be.
Okay, so you're still talking about exit signs and smoke slash, on my side of the business.
There's still a couple of items on,
Okay, well, go ahead. That was my question to you is,
that need to be
was
corrected.
everything else on here, because that's the list.
Not everything is corrected, but,
Okay.
I mean, he's been working on it.
Okay.
Well, I think I have something in writing for the maintenance report, usually goes verbal, that's the only part we never gave us anything in writing, so that's nice.
Yeah. It is, but, I guess I'll go out on a limb here and tell you that the mayor typed this up. Yes.
Good job.
I don't know that I don't know what the maintenance guy turned in. I do not know what Tim turned in. But, I can tell you that, Mayor Riggs was, keeping up with what he was doing, and so that's why we have this.
Good.
You can credit the last 2 pages to Liz.
Thank you, Liz.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe we need to make sure that the rest of this is taken care of, like, pretty soon, because some of this stuff I've seen. I know the lights have been taken care of on front of the building for the flagpoles, right?
I don't think he's quite finished with that yet
Okay,
because of the wet weather.
okay,
And I know he was having trouble with the new lights on the side with the sensor,
okay.
getting them to come on at dark and go off in the daytime. So I don't know if he rectified that or not.
Okay. Council, where do y'all want to keep going with this? Are we good with this report right now, or are we good to go? Good to go? Okay. All right. Let's move on to city pool report.
There's no pool report, pool's closed.
Okay. No pool report. Court.
The court report this past month, the total funds brought in through the court, $17,939.60, of which the city gets to keep $11,586.49. Another item on the court report, our court clerk, Kemma, is leaving us when she goes out on, actually she's leaving 2 weeks early when she goes out on maternity leave. Her last day will be January the 30th. I hate to see her go because she was a good court clerk. She's done a great job. And the mayor and I discussed who to replace her with, and we chose the second person in line when we hired Kemma. And so we will have a new court clerk, Chris Duke, that will start next Monday. She'll be with Kemma in court tomorrow night to see how court goes, and she'll begin on Monday. She's anxious to start training and go to court clerk school, and she wants to get certified level 1 and level 2 as quickly as possible.
So Kemma is training her.
Kemma will be training her for just 2 weeks though, so
Does she have any previous experience?
no previous experience.
Liz.
Oh, there's Chris Hugh right there. Stand up, Chris, our new court clerk starting.
Oh, no.
Okay, well, that's good. All right. Okay. How long has Kemma been here again? I'm sorry.
Until January the 30th.
30.
And since Kemma and Officer Seaman aren't in the room, we're having a dual baby shower on that day. Officer Seaman's wife is also pregnant, and her and Kemma are due on the same day in February. So, at 3 o'clock on Friday the 30th, we'll be having a baby shower for both of them.
Here?
Here.
Here.
We had to move it. Both boys.
Is that right? Okay, y'all want to do anything else with court? Any questions, council? Move on to finance.
Okay, you have your budget versus actual.
I really do. No, I do.
Well, we can make one of them act like that. Okay, we are at total income at 51% of our income.
This is all the way through December 31.
This is through December 31.
Okay.
We did receive a Bill Bleach grant for $10,000 in October, so that boosted our income. Our total expenses, get to the end here, we are at 30%. But also take into consideration, we received the majority of taxes in December and January, so that boosted our income up quite a bit. And we still don't have the rollover in here because the minutes were not approved. Next month, we'll have last year's rollover in our budget. And I'm sure the mayor intends on having a meeting to discuss how to allocate that further.
Yes, he did talk about that.
Okay.
He did, yeah, we're gonna have to just either incorporate it into February or have a special meeting, yes.
Okay. You have your reconciled bank statement. From now on, I'm not opening the bank statement, I'm handing it over to the mayor, who reviews it, signs it, and then I'll reconcile it. That way he can review any checks that were written, can verify everything is good, that's per the auditor's instructions. So that's our new procedure. So you'll see the mayor's initials on the bank statement. You also have a check register of all the checks that were written. And at the back, you'll have the credit card registers of all the credit card charges for the month of December. You also have a little letter here from BNY Mellon, which is the backer of our bank, Wells Fargo. We get these every month, and I wanted you guys to see that FDIC insurance only covers up to $250,000. Over and above that, because we are a municipality and we hold taxpayers' dollars, the banks have special procedures they do, and they actually put up collateral to back anything over $250,000. So at the time that this letter was written to us, we had $11,776 over the $250,000. Of course, now we have more because more taxes have come in. But they provide this to us every month to say that they have our back on anything over the FDIC insurance. My administration report. In the month of December, the auditors were asking for more information, and a couple of things that we need to correct is we need a purchasing and payable policy in writing, and we also need a capitalization policy for capital assets over $5,000 with a useful life of 2 years or more. So she's working on getting samples of those from other agencies or other cities so we can reword them to be good for our city. Hopefully next month we'll have those at the council meeting. Then cleaning out more files in the city offices. All the benefits were taken out of the binder and put the applicable employee file. Skipping down, I received the email from Texas Parks and Wildlife, so I'll be going up there on the 22nd. Our street credit process has been slow in getting up and going. We're missing a schematic from them, and I'm having a little bit of a hard time getting that from them so we can send the packet off to CGIS. The online ticket processing should be completed this week. Last minute details are being set up. Board Miller's getting ready to start working on the pavilion. And as I stated earlier, there's not much money in his bid for the tear out, so maybe we can get something done with volunteers to help get the building. The only thing I'm concerned about is getting the electricity turned off so nobody gets shocked, and the water turned off, and before anybody starts knocking anything down. So, can you assist with that?
No, I've got that already, we'll handle that.
Okay. And then I mentioned in my admin report here that our court clerk is leaving and we have a new court clerk. And December was a little slow due to the holidays and vacations.
The next report I have is the CARES report. Again, there's no change in the CARES money. Total CARES funds available is $3,641. Councilman Garza has been looking into the cost of replacing our Christmas light decorations up and down the boulevard. So I'll be sending out an email to the CARES members, hopefully this week, and get something out there on the Roman Forest Plan to have a meeting and have the CARES group decide and vote on if they would like to contribute this remaining money from CARES into Christmas lighting. We thought about asking if anybody wanted to sponsor a poll. We have he came up with a couple of good ideas, and maybe have the catalogs out here for the CARES members to look at and try to spruce up and get new Christmas lighting. They range anywhere from $150 a piece to a couple $1,000 a piece, so it just depends on what everybody likes and how much money we can come up with, and how much money you want to spend. And maybe we can use this and use more donations if people would like to donate and ask for a grant. And I'll be happy to write a grant and turn it into MSET. I think the next grant round is in March. Is that correct, Chief Carlisle?
Yeah, I think they're doing March or beginning of April.
Okay. So hopefully this week we'll be acting on that and getting a CARES meeting together and seeing how much interest we have in getting new Christmas lighting down the boulevard.
You know, we count the poles, and there were 40.
40 poles?
41, but we only decorate 40, so.
Well, it's really nice to be able to talk about things like that. Used to have been in barrel fields.
I like the idea of sponsoring the poll.
Sponsor poll. Tony came up, they have this 5-foot snowflake.
5-foot snowflake, you know.
Really cute.
With their Splendora around Christmas time, it's just so clean and nice. They all got these big snowflakes on both sides going down 29 right there by the police station. It's just, they all look the same. It's really nice. They're all the same white lights. It's looking nice. Ours is old and dilapidated. That's what.
Those
Since the
snowflakes,
70s.
yeah.
Hey,
You know.
me and my wife renovated them, what, 15 years ago?
Yes. And they need renovated now. I mean, look, none of the lights work.
Yeah.
And the snowflakes were about, what, $450 a piece?
One sale right now, the regular $548, they got a 25% sale for a 5-foot snowflake, $410 or something like that. But you know, my mother-in-law had mentioned, you know, her husband passed away in 2008, and she would like to donate, you know, same thing, buy a pole. She wants to buy one, and in memory of Jim Hornaday, so whenever she drives down, you know, she would notice it and see it, know that, you know, that's her money and that ball, that snowflake or whatever. You know, I mean, that's a good idea if anybody would like to do that in memory of a loved one or something. That's a good idea. But it's just something to take a look at and see if you all
When
want
you
to
get the
do this.
reporter up here and she put something about that in the paper, you know, let residents and people know.
Yeah, where's she at? Dad's here and she's not here.
But those decorations were here when I moved in '78. They were about 3 or 4 years old in '78.
Okay.
Okay, and that is.
Okay, moving
my
on.
report.
Roman Forest Special Events, are you done?
Yes.
Roman Forest Special Events Committee.
To date, the city's record should reflect $10,528.02, including a petty cash fund of $116.40. We have a total of $10,644.42 towards the fireworks for this next year. And our December craft show was a good success. I was not here, but they said it was a steady flow of people coming through. We have a couple of people that are interested in joining the committee, and they're going to be more or less behind the scenes, not necessarily coming to the events to help, which we still need more people for that. But we have someone interested in getting it through social media and to the newspapers in a timely manner and stay on top of it on the social media, reminding people we have this going on. For instance, like the craft show, so it gets out to more people than just right here in our area. We have another lady that's interested in handling the craft show part of it for the December craft show, and then when we have the crafters out for the 4th of July, so that takes a load off of Christie. That way they can contact that person, and Christie will still be involved with it, but then there will be a contact person. She can contact the crafters and see if we can't get more crafters in here, especially for the Christmas craft show, and get that built up. That's it.
Thank you, Rick.
Thank you.
Any questions, council?
Oh, sorry.
Chief Carlisle?
Yes.
No, I'm sorry, not yet. Actually, we do not have, I don't believe we have anything on Economic Development Committee.
No, sir.
No, we don't. So, Chief Carlisle, you're up again.
Well, there's nothing really to report other than there is a East Montgomery County Improvement District social media site, a Facebook page. Just go and type it in the search engine, like it. There's a Kelly, she's used to be a news anchor in Waco. She's been hired by IMSA to push out a bunch of stuff, so you can get all you want from that Facebook page. And if you like it, and it'll pop up in your news feed and everything, and that should keep you updated. That was one of my biggest goals, and we finally got that accomplished. So just go to Facebook and like it.
What'd you say?
Go to Facebook and like the East Montgomery County Improvement District. It'll keep you updated.
None of us like that for you, no, I'm just kidding. Okay.
We'll have to get through it.
That actually ends our department reports. I would like to ask a question, Commissioner. You're here tonight. Is there something you would like to, are you just here to listen? Or would you like, but before we go into old business, Commissioner, would you like to address our council?
No, I took a position with Pro Star Waste, and I know you got your contract coming up in October, and we'd like to make sure we get a chance to bid on it.
Okay.
I hadn't totally retired, but I haven't retired from that. But you do need to get your parking lot ready, because there's a lot over there.
Thank you for bringing
So we
that
can't call you anymore, can we?
But I'll be around to the meeting, and be looking at your contract for your garbage pickup. We'd like to get a chance to shoot at it.
When is our contract due?
October.
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 And I'll tell you, time gets by pretty quick,
Goes quick.
especially when you get 70 years old, it gets by quick. But thank you. I love you deal. I've been in here and seen it before, but
Isn't it
it
nice?
sure beats this little sitting around tables up here,
Yes, sir, it does.
I think y'all do a great job. I'm gonna get out of here. Go.
Thank you for
I'm
everything you've done.
gonna watch the Rockies.
You hear what I said? Thank you for everything you've done for us.
Thank y'all for everything you've done for me. A lot of times that I don't think I'd have made it without Romn.
Well, I think you would.
You might have, but you were always a big supporter of our city, and we do appreciate that. Thank
It's
you.
funny how he notices potholes now.
Before, I thought it looked good. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good
Good
night.
night.
Thank you. All right, moving on to old business. Item 1, old business. Discuss and consider possible action concerning ordinance 305. Conley, this is your baby.
Noise from?
Permitted outdoor burning and related matters. Okay.
It says Rick's on it.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, we received some emails. I don't know if y'all read them. I received an email from Larry. He made some corrections to the ordinance.
The ordinance attached to my email from Larry, his comments are in red. The yellow highlights, we couldn't get out of the document, so they are old comments, or old corrections.
And Chief, I think you have some input on this, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm digging through my packet looking for the
Okay.
ordinance.
It's behind an email from me, or to me, from Larry.
There you go.
Yeah, I found it. So I don't have much to add to it other than, I did talk to the attorney and I did receive a phone call from the state saying our current ordinance was illegal. It's-
But this one below
We
state.
cannot allow things that the state disallows. So it's illegal and it's being fixed. I told them we do that, and that's why we were in the process of this, and they said, good job, so I had her send me what the state stuff is, and I forwarded that to the attorney, which he probably already had. But he came back with this, he added a full page to it. You can see all the red writing all through this thing. So basically what the red writing is, he added the state stuff into the ordinance. If this stuff wasn't in the ordinance, technically we're still supposed to enforce it. So it needs to be in there. Couple things, it's just basically cleaning it up, but the main things that I noticed, in the definition, he added refuse, just little things like that. He added some natural gas pipeline, just to clean up, legal mumbo jumbo stuff. I'm trying to find what it's hard to find it, but one thing that I remember that sticks out is if you're burning, we say you can't burn within 20 feet of a structure. The state law said, that's good, burn 20 feet from a structure. State law says you cannot burn 300 feet from a house that's not yours. So that will pretty much knock out anybody in the neighborhood. I asked for clarification on it, and then I seen it when I read it. It's hard to read some of these laws. But I did ask for clarification. I talked to the state and I talked to our attorney. He said that that's 300 feet from a residence that you don't have permission to burn. So if you're burning in your backyard and you have 3 neighbors that fall within that 300 feet, you need their permission to burn.
Written permission, right?
Written permission. Now, officers always have the power of discretion. So if we go to this house and all 3 neighbors say, no, we don't mind you burning, we don't necessarily have to see it in writing. But the law says they have to have it in writing. So if somebody contests it or anything like that, it's best to have it in writing.
That's the state law? The
State law. Yeah. State
And
law.
and that being said, we have to follow state law
Right.
on account of our violation.
Yes.
So that's one thing that stood out. And there was another thing, it'll take me forever to find it, but that you have to consider wind direction, meteorological conditions, your smoke, your pollutants, all kinds of things that are in here. If the wind is more than 6 miles per hour, there are certain things you can and can't do. There's-
Section 4.04.
Yeah, 4.04 burning shall not be commenced when the surface wind speed is predicted to be less than 6 miles per hour or greater than 23 miles per hour. So if it's less than 6 miles per hour, you can't burn because it's going to just stay there. If it's higher than 26 miles per hour, you can't burn because it's going to blow it all over the place. So, but all this red stuff he put in here is straight directly from the state law. So it's not like he's trying to, be overly strict or anything. This is just required. If it wasn't in here, now that we are very clear on how this works, if it wasn't in here, we still need to enforce it. Technically, Jimmy Williams, the fire marshal, they don't have a county ordinance because they just go by state law. So the reason why we want an ordinance, because there's a couple things that we want to be a little bit stricter than state law. Somewhere in here, you can't burn at night. If you're cleaning your yard and you're just simply burning up the trees, the tree limbs and the smoke, you can't burn at night because at nighttime the smoke stays low. Technically all burning is illegal technically. except for a few permitted things. But you can burn ceremonial or recreational campfires. You know, you're sitting around a log drinking a beer, and you have a few logs in there. You're not just using it to clean up your yard. That's the recreational fire. But or ceremonial fire, like Boy Scouts and stuff like that. But if you're just raking up your yard and burning your leaves just to dispose of them, you couldn't do that at night.
That's 1 hour after, before, 1 hour after sunrise and 1 hour before sunset.
Right. Right. There's some definitions in here. Where did you see that one?
4.06.
4.06.
Carla, how's it gonna work if someone's burning, let's say they start a fire at 4:35 o'clock, and it goes on until dark, it gets dark. and
They have extinguishers.
Extinguish and put it out.
Yeah. Unless it's like they're just sitting around, have 5 or 6 friends over, sitting around a campfire burning just wood and stuff like that for recreational use, then you have to put it out. If they're necessary purposes, you have to put it out.
Unless it's recreational.
Unless it's recreational or ceremonial. So that's why it's still legal to have a campfire, while you're camping at night. It's legal for that. You keep your hands warm while you're drinking beer, but not if you're just cleaning up. I keep talking about drinking beer.
Yeah.
I need to go home. I can't think of anything else that, there's more stuff in here, but it's all straight from the state law. And of course, since this has a criminal penalty, it has to be run in the paper for so long. There's so many rules on that too, so it won't take effect until after that's all done too.
How is this gonna work with 300 feet of your neighbor getting permission?
Well, last month or the month before, we were talking about, just show some courtesy to your neighbor.
Yeah.
If your neighbor has asthma or something, the wind's blowing in her direction, don't burn her. Be courteous to your neighbor. That kind of forces their hand to be courteous to the neighbor, so now they gotta go and talk to their neighbors within 300 feet of where the fire is gonna be. And technically, they should get it in writing.
How are people gonna know this law, right?
We're gonna post it in the paper.
It's gotta be posted before it takes
Most of the time, people don't even look at it, but we will post this online.
It'll be on our website. Once it's
We'll put it on
published in the paper,
Facebook,
we'll put it on the website.
Probably needs to be mailed out to all the residents or something.
It's not a bad idea, that's a big expense, but it's not a
Yeah,
bad
I know it
idea.
is, but, I mean, if you want to abide by this law,
Well, with the popularity of Facebook and social media, and we have a couple of blogs that we can put about.
Yeah.
We got McKinney.com, we got RomnForce.com.
We could print it and put it in the newsletter boxes and tell them to pick up the new ordinance.
burning ordinance.
Yeah, because I looked online, 4.02 is state law.
Yeah, all of this.
Everything in red is
That's what I'm
state law.
saying, it's state law anyway. We
Yeah.
cannot be
Technically, we
more lax
should
than
be
state
doing
law.
this now.
So this, we have to do this.
Yeah.
We've always gone by our city ordinance, which was 2 pages, or, I don't know, exaggerating, but it wasn't much, and it allowed, even stated in there, we allow you to burn rubbish. I mean, how's that legal? It's not.
It's not. Well, the bottom line of this whole thing is state law, our city attorney has went through it, and that's the way it is.
So, knowing this now, I've never sat down and read the fire ordinance. I always just went by our fire ordinance. I knew there was a state law out there, but we just,
How come you ticket people with sparklers? Sparklers.
I've never written a ticket with a spark. And I guarantee you none of the officers under my command has written a ticket for somebody having a spark.
Okay, are you guys going to pull up in someone's yard, after all this is out and said and done? And if someone's burning, hey, you got a letter from all your neighbors, are you guys gonna enforce it? Because you're really gonna.
Our code enforcement officer might, if they have time. Our code enforcement officer is also a patrol officer, so his primary purpose is patrol, but he may show up at random, but usually things like this we work off complaint.
Yeah.
The citizens are our eyes and ears. We're out, keeping the bad guys out and stuff, so if your neighbor's burning and you've really taken offense to it, call us and we'll go by there and then we'll address it then. Sometimes we might actually see it and get a little proactive on it, but usually it's all complaint.
So if everybody's burning, then they'll just smoke out all the bad guys, huh?
Or they won't be able to find that.
Yeah. I have seen it really, it looks like fog.
I know, I have to.
You see a level, you can even see a level, you just duck down and walk underneath.
What are you gonna look like them people?
That's easy for you,
People behind you, you got state law. You can't enforce it.
One way you may get it started is like the sign in the front. Because 95% of the people look at it, whatever's changed, they'll see it. So if you can put something up there that in the cheapest way, please see your code departments on burning, and it'll be more or less up to the people then to make sure they look at it, see what it is. So when it does pull up, then he can go ahead and say, you know, we posted it, it's been out there on the front. You know, these are the new orders, and I'll give you a copy now, but you have to put it fire.
Very good.
I think putting it in the gray box is a good idea.
Right.
Put it in the red box and put it on
Because
the
I'm
motion.
gonna tell you, as much as we did
Cover all.
advertising for the fireworks and promoting all of that, there's still times people walk up to our events and don't have any idea what we're doing. So it's been on Facebook, it's been out on the marquee, it's been in the red boxes, so.
Sometimes they gotta come out of the cave.
So Chief, do you see any problem enforcing this
There's gonna be
ordinance?
a lot of people upset because we've never enforced to this degree. There's gonna be a lot of people upset when I walk up to them and say, hey, you can't burn at night anymore. There's gonna be, and that's my problem, I gotta deal with that. And I know how to deal with that, it's fine.
You know, I don't like it, but it's state law.
And that's what I was
I
saying.
mean, I don't like it, but it's state law, and that's what we have to abide by.
Well, what happens is the first time you have an incident, and they pull the state law up, and they come back and say, you know, what's the city gonna do about this?
Exactly. That is
We can't
true.
do anything.
That's right.
Right. Okay.
So, I mean, it's just a thing, you know, it's my job, I have to deal with it.
So you don't see a problem,
Oh, I do see a problem, but I'll handle it.
you see a problem, okay, I'll take that.
But I'll handle it.
Okay, but,
Our hands
Now,
are
the
tied.
officers have the power of discretion. If it's not a felony, we have
thank you,
the power
that's what
of
I've been
discretion.
trying to get out of you.
Yeah, we do.
The
have-
officer's gonna use common sense, am I right?
The officer shows up there, and we've been allowing them to do this for 20 years, and we sit there and say, hey, you can't do it no more. We're not gonna go write them a ticket because they violated something. We're gonna tell them, hey, look, and we're gonna give them a copy here. Here's a new copy. Sorry you gotta deal with this, but from now on, you're just gonna have to shut it down an hour before sunset.
Right.
And they'll understand.
Or-
They might get mad a little bit, but they'll understand.
Or pop open a beer, drink a beer beside it, call it recreation. That's where you're, that's kind of a weird thing.
The officer
to
has
say.
common sense too, you know?
But you understand why it's written.
Yeah, it's hard to define.
Because one person's nuisance is not another person. It's just, it's hard to-
Especially in the summertime when it's 105.
Yeah.
Everything's dry, people don't have a common sense.
If you can't breathe because your neighbor 5 doors down has a big smoky fire, even during the day and all the conditions are met,
Yeah.
even then, it's still a nuisance. I might not write a ticket for it, but I'll make them put it out.
Yeah, okay.
And if they don't want to, I'll call a fire truck and put it out for them. And we do that.
All right, Chief, last thoughts on this, and I'm gonna ask council to vote on it. Last thoughts. You got anything else?
No, just, once you approve it, we'll just deal with, having it, we'll advertise it, we'll do it.
It's gotta be posted.
We probably won't go out and write a whole bunch of tickets in the beginning, probably in the first year, we'll probably just be going around handing these out.
Okay. All right. With that being said, council, I'm asking where y'all wanna go with this.
You have no way to go for one month. I mean, that's just the way that it is. With the population that we have, we have to follow state law.
Was that a motion, Councilman
I
Wallace?
make a motion.
Motion by Councilman Wallace to accept ordinance 305 with corrections from our attorney. 305, sorry, 305-15. Including amendments from our attorney. In other words, as written in front of us. Motion on the floor.
I'll second it.
Second by Councilwoman Peoples. Any more discussion?
I just wanted to make sure that clear that we're reading on section 502 and 503 is what you can burn, but obviously I don't see, we can still burn limbs and leaves and grass.
Well, you see, it refers you back up to 402. No.
Yeah, those are the rules.
Yes, but you see, you can still burn leaves, limbs,
I'm just making sure.
no building materials.
Right.
I know, I read this today.
Now, it doesn't give any particular diameter of limbs, because some of these limbs are the size.
That's another one.
Yeah, right?
Well, that's why the police department, this code enforcement, has the discretion.
Yeah. You put a big limb up there that's 10, 12 feet long and the size burn, it looks like a big log, and they say, we burned a tree. Well, this could be an actual limb, but.
Okay, any more discussion, council? Motion on the floor, Councilman Wallace to approve, second, Councilwoman Peoples. All those in favor of approving this ordinance? Show it as unanimous. And of course, it has to be posted, and he made a good point, put it on the marquee.
Once it goes in the paper, then it becomes law. And then I'll put it on the marquee and I'll put it in the red boxes.
Yeah, there you go.
Is there a certain, after it goes on the paper, is it like 30 days after that, or is it?
The day it's posted in the paper.
Yeah.
Get the burn.
Okay. We're done with that. Okay, item 2, old business. Discuss and consider possible action concerning maintenance department work hours. Councilman Garza.
I brought that up at the last meeting, which was my first meeting, and you guys wasn't there. So, I mean, you guys, it was tabled because we wanted, y'all said, but also,
All right.
and that's why we waited. And I didn't notice, like I said, I just got on city council, and I just didn't understand why our maintenance guy had different hours than everybody else, and coming in at 6 in the morning, just didn't make any sense. He should work the same hours as the city employees work. He's a city employee, and if something happens and we need him at 2, 3, 4 o'clock, when people are here, he's gone, well, he's not here. That's what I was talking about. That's what I was concerned. I would like for him to work the same hours as everybody else, just in case that something happens and we need him.
The only thing that I'll say is, in the summer, I think that 7 o'clock is good.
So, yeah, 7 o'clock is good in the summer.
For the cutting the grass and stuff.
And then when you get into the fall and the winter, 8 o'clock's good.
Maybe we can change it, October 31st, November 1st, somewhere around there. The business hours.
I don't have a problem with that. It's just that morning time is better if you're weedy.
Nobody knows more about that than he does.
Well, I understand. I'm just saying. I mean, I've been weeding in my yard. But I don't have a problem with that. It's just that we gotta have a little flexibility, I think.
Yeah, I have no problem changing them up in the summer. It is hot. And,
I would set
7
it.
o'clock is fine.
I wouldn't set a hard date on it though, because our weather's not the same every year.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah,
you're saying toward the end of October.
Well, but you said you set a specific date for his hours to change, let's not do that.
Well, I mean, summer's over in October. You're not mowing.
How about when he starts mowing?
What I'm saying is, let's not set specific dates, is all I'm saying. I'm saying his hours need to change because the daylight changes. He can't come into the city and do anything outside right now at 6 in the morning. It's not gonna happen.
And
So,
he does.
just like I said, my concern is if a tree falls at 3:30 and he's gone.
Well, we have to call him out.
And then you gotta pay overtime.
And you have to give him 4
Or I
hours.
pay overtime, yeah, that's.
Yeah,
It's
it's
been 30 minutes.
Well, I'm sure.
I got from one the other day, Glenn was out mowing at 6 o'clock in the morning. It was dark 30, I mean, it was dark, and that's bad.
Our ordinance for building is that construction workers and concrete trucks can start at 6 a.m. So what's the difference between a concrete truck and a lawnmower?
A lawnmower in front of someone's driveway, I I spoke, whenever I was campaigning, I spoke with a resident, that when she was backing out of her driveway, she almost ran over. She didn't see him out there. It's dark. And I understand he wants to get, start early when it's cool, but she didn't see him. And it is dark at, 6:15, 6:30. And she didn't see him when she backed out. So,
Okay, where we
the concrete truck is going down the road.
Yeah, give us your
Lights.
thoughts. What would you like to see happen, Garza?
I would
Councilman Garza.
I would like to see his hours change from 8 to 4:30 or whatever his hours are during the winter months, if we do need him. So we don't have to pay him overtime to bring him in if something happens.
Because he's 7 to 3:30 right now. No?
The mayor temporarily changed it to 7 to 3:30.
Okay, but, he's been coming in 6,
He punches in at 6:30
okay.
and he stays till 3:30. Which he's not paid for that extra half hour. I've asked that he don't punch in so early
Well, I'm
because,
only working, he's not getting paid.
well, he is working, I believe. But if he ever goes back and said he didn't get paid for his overtime, he's right.
Well, if you set a person's hours, and he wants to come in and early and do something.
I know, but-
That's on his time.
Well, if you look at the labor laws, you pay what they have on the time clock, period.
Yeah. Because 6 months down the road, no one can remember, well, did he work?
Right.
Did he not?
Because what we did, our company people did that, because some people came in early, the first thing they did was just punch the clock when they hit the door. But we had a stamp on the back of the time card, they say their hour from this to that. When you stamp back that time card, you're weighting that right.
Well, I know Walmart lost a huge lawsuit because they were trimming hours, and they had to go back and pay a ton of overtime to a lot of people.
That's why they put the stamp on the back of the time card, the other knowledge you signed, it, your work hours, which would be paid.
I would say you don't clock in until you start working.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I was always told.
Well, I mean,
Nobody had to tell me I was usually late anyway. It's all good. Where do you want to go with this? Don't even put it out there.
I mean, I had just mentioned, but you guys.
No, I just said his hours right now are 7 to 3:30. And she said he's clocking in earlier. He needs to be told that that's not acceptable. So he's not getting paid. What would you like to see his hours?
What are your hours? 8 to 4? 8 to
My hours
5?
are 8 to 5,
8 to 5 and
and 1 hour lunch.
And he works 8 hours also, so his would be 8 to 4?
He gets 30-minute, he takes a 30-minute lunch. I'm sure he does not want an hour.
Yeah.
That's that 7 to 3:30 thing. That's where it came
Well,
from.
he can come in, what, 7:30 to 4? 30-minute lunch, whatever y'all want.
No, if hers is 8 to 5, she takes an hour lunch, it'll be 7 to 4:30, 30 minutes.
That's 9 hours. Be 8 to 4:30.
Be 8 to 4.
Yeah, well, that's right, yeah.
You said 7.
Oh, that's what I said,
Yeah, you got me.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sorry,
okay.
my bad.
We'll give some overtime already?
So you're saying this time of the year, he should be available later,
Correct.
Council?
Now, whenever springtime comes around,
The
it does
early
get hot,
is better.
let's shoot.
But we're
for
not gonna
7.
fix that date because we need to do that.
Yeah, we can do that as,
We'll do it a month ahead of time. Because give him a month,
Yeah.
heads up.
So it's spring and summer, you're saying?
Hmm?
Spring and summer?
Yes,
Is
And
earlier.
then fall and winter is.
probably late spring. I believe it, it gets April.
Okay, Colin, what do you think about that? Having normal hours now, changes hours back up in springtime when time changes?
I agree with that.
You agree with that? Yes.
Do it like when the time changes, like what's really said.
Oh,
The
the
time
time changes.
changes,
Yeah.
that's when you would change,
Yeah.
that's when the daylight's gonna
When
change.
does it,
Well, they
when does the time change?
really readjusted that a couple of years ago, so it's really nice now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
I think it changes.
But we don't have to set that right now.
Okay.
All we're doing right now is discussing changing his hours. You would like to see his hours 8 to 4:30.
8 to 4:30.
Is that in a motion?
That is a motion. I make a motion that we change his hours from 8 to 4:30.
Motion on the floor. Councilman Garza to change maintenance department's hours effective when?
That's the 13th.
Next Monday. I guess that would be,
Which would be the 19th?
Which would be the 19th.
19th. Okay, motion on the floor.
yeah.
Councilman Garza, change maintenance department's hours from 8 to 4:30, starting on the 19th of this month.
And they change when,
We don't have to do that or not. We don't.
won't you just put it to bed?
You can.
Won't you just put it to bed?
You can. We can put it to bed. You can continue that and say that it changes with the time change. It reverts back,
To 7 to 3:30.
whatever you want to do. That's your motion. Still going.
Okay, well, when does the time change? March? Anybody know?
Whatever it
It
is.
doesn't matter. It's a set date, so it doesn't matter.
I make a motion, when the time changes, that his hours go from 7 to 3:30.
Okay, motion on the floor, Councilman Garza. Maintenance department's hours will change from this point, it will change, not from this point, it will change from 8 to 4:30,
Effective January 19th.
effective January 19th, and we'll go back to 7 to 3:30, starting with the spring forward.
Spring forward.
I'll second that motion.
Second, Councilman Wallace. Any more discussion?
Yes.
Oh, Lord. Go ahead.
Do you want to put in the motion that, again, in the springtime, it changes? I mean, in the fall,
In the fall.
it changes back in the fall and changes again every spring.
Yes, well, time change. Yes,
Time change.
There's 2 time changes.
So how are we going to word that motion?
Is that daylight savings?
And Tony would say, and it goes back to 8 to 4:30 with the fallback.
Okay.
We good with that? Okay. Motion on the floor, Councilman Garza, second, Councilman Wallace. Any more discussion? All those in favor of this? It is unanimous.
Who did the second?
It starts on the 19th. I guess since I am actually, I guess I will let them know in the morning. I guess it does fall. It actually does, but okay. Okay, I will let Glenn know in the morning. Okay. And that starts on the 19th. Okay. All right, new business. Item 1, discuss, consider possible action concerning the request for a variance of new construction at 104 Artesian Way by Kurt Joslin, is a construction company and related matters.
Am I allowed to be a document for you?
It's kind of one request,
That's not one of yours, Jordan, that's good. Yes. Okay, let's get the office.
Yeah, I want to see it on
Yeah, I know, we did say that.
They need to tell me about that. Okay, Liz, remind me on this. This is Johnson Construction.
This is a triplex going up at 104 Artesian Way. The plans were accepted with a note on the top of the plans that the building would be 51% masonry. And some residents on Artesian have come into City Hall complaining that there's less than 51% brick or rock on the house, and I'll leave it at that and let you.
Well, and the thing is, it's actually hardy plank
Sorry, Mike.
that they're using. It's not, I guess it is masonry, right? Help me out, Gordon. Yes, I'm asking you. It is concrete. It's concrete. It's concrete board.
It's not brick, it is.
It's not brick, but it,
It's in certain subdivisions, it's going to court, and they consider hardy plank masonry. But
Exactly.
Your deed restrictions have changed, I think it says, does it say masonry now or brick?
It says brick.
it says brick. It still says 51% brick.
You've got houses on the boulevard that are stucco, slats.
I know.
They're masonry, so I don't,
The one across the street, the whole garage is party plank.
Yeah.
I know, and I don't have a problem. I like this.
Insurance considered it all masonry, all concrete.
Exactly. So,
Scott, how much concrete's in that masonry?
I'm not sure.
I tried to look that up on the Hardy website to see exactly how much concrete versus fiber mesh or
It never
whatever
did
else.
say what I
It
could
does
find.
not say.
I think it's more
It's
concrete.
made of wood chips and cement.
It don't
It's got
burn.
some fiber in it to hold it together. I
You can
guess.
drive a nail through it, I can tell you
It
that.
doesn't burn.
Will not burn.
It
No,
does
it
not
won't
burn.
burn. Anyway, so council, it's within our power to grant variance on this, okay? To allow them to build this with 51%. They're calling it masonry. Our ordinance, however, does specifically says 51%
Brick.
brick. It needs to be revisited because when that ordinance was written, hardy plank did not exist, so.
The other thing you're.
And, you know, that being said,
Go ahead, Don.
that being said, you know, one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen is no garages facing the boulevard. As you drive down, they're facing the boulevard. And these things need to be relooked at. I mean,
Exactly. Well,
I can enforce one, but not the other.
well, my only concern is that, you know, if we grant this variance, does that give permission for everybody else to do it?
Right.
you got two.
Does it set a precedent? I don't know, does it? That's what I'm
So
asking.
that's how, because what I understand what you turn into, it's you, it's y'all's house, right? You know, who's here, just representing this?
Nobody.
We're looking to build and use hardy plank, and we've had, I mean, I built another house, you know, we sold it for $200,000, and it's all hardy plank.
And
So
why-
that's my point.
why is it-
Insurance companies consider a house all masonry when it's hardy plank.
And
It's
where's this
considered
Kirk-
concrete.
How come this Kirk Johnson is not here tonight to represent himself?
He's on school board tonight.
Well, I don't have the document, but I have the plans here. On top of his plans, he put exterior will be at least 51% masonry, and he signed it. He didn't say brick, he said masonry.
Which our ordinance does say brick. It does, absolutely.
Well, what happens too is, but I live on Artesian Way,
Mhm.
and all the other duplexes in there, they're all bricked up to a certain height.
Sure.
And then masonry the rest of the way.
Right.
So what happens there is, from an aesthetic standpoint, he's got a 3-foot brick ledge is all he's putting in, and the rest of it's solid masonry all the way up.
So he complies with the 51%,
Now, oh well, not with brick.
not with
The
brick.
brick ledge is this tall, and you've got 18 feet to the 2-story.
Oh,
The rest of
that's
it's,
work.
yeah, it's all 2-story.
Hey, Greg,
Then you got,
these
you got the brick, then you got the hardy plank.
Yeah, that's the way the others work.
All the detached buildings that are metal. I mean, if they be metal, I think they should be able to be harder, I mean, detached buildings do it?
He's got two sections of facing that is going to be stone all the way up, and then
He does not.
where,
He changed
where the paper's at,
All
where the
the
no
front.
hardy, all the front, all the way to the
most,
top.
most of it's all Hardy Plank stuff.
Two sections of it is still just got paper, and that's where the rock is gonna go all the way to the top in two sections.
Okay, 50%, 51%, because that's what I bought.
It still doesn't add up to 51%.
I bought over there, saying that that's what the orders were.
Somebody,
I just have a question.
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
Were those house plans already voted on and approved?
That's what they're waiting on. Well, the plans,
And it was written on there about the masonry?
Masonry.
But it didn't specifically say brick or whatever?
Correct.
And they were approved?
Yes. They don't get approved by this council, they
You're
get
right, I
approved
know.
by our building.
Yeah, I know. I just was just curious,
No.
and then do you have to honor that?
Did he write that, or did we write that?
He wrote
Before or
that.
So
after?
he wrote that, so he can write anything he wants to, don't
Right, before or after they were?
He wrote it on there before they got turned over to Bureau Veritas for plan review.
he? And what was their feelings on that?
They approved it.
Did he turn in this copy here, or assuming they're?
This is the city's, that when they turn in their plans, they turn in 2 copies. And when they come back, the city keeps a copy, and they take a copy to be on site.
So it should show, 4 foot of it is stone, the rest of it's hardy.
That's what it shows.
And so it was approved, and that's what he built. So,
I think
well,
they
I know
were,
he hasn't finished it yet, but it was
I
approved.
think they were saying, they just didn't say brick, but I think they meant both. Because you said all to the city.
Well, and you also have homes that are rock. That's not brick. Our ordinance says brick. You have homes that are stucco, and that's not brick.
but they are masonry.
That-
Chief, please be heard.
I was in the meeting, I walked in part of the meeting, and they brought out the ordinance. And the main thing is, the brick is irrelevant. What it says is it has to be a definition, but some bricks not even allowed. It said 1,500 PSI.
Right, I do remember that.
So I think that's the important thing in the ordinance, rather than just the word brick. It's next to 15, and I don't know what Hardy is. We looked it up, we couldn't find it.
Hardy does not do BSI rating, they call their headquarters.
It's not a structure, it's not a support structure, it's just a face.
How's it attached? Nail it on?
Which,
Nailed on.
by definition, brick is not a supporting structure either. It's just a fascia.
That's all it is, how they go about 15.
Exactly.
Yes, what does that have to do?
Yeah, I know.
1,500 PSI is pretty strong.
Yeah, but why do they go by
You
that?
can't drive a nail through it, I can tell you that.
The tax records and insurance?
Exactly, Scott, you're right about that, yeah.
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, good.
Is that where they shoot
But
the
it's
2 to
not
4
for the
foot?
20 years, I know that.
Anyway, council, this is what's before us. We can stick with our original.
I just wish he would've got permission from Chief Hardy instead of doing it and asking us to change our laws. And that's what I got a problem with.
Well, you didn't.
Because next time we approve
He turned
something,
it in for masonry.
He listed it for
He listed
masonry.
it, that was
And
approved, he didn't do that.
Hardy is considered by insurance companies to be
Masonry.
masonry. That's the problem there. He thought he was within this because insurance companies say that Hardy Plank is masonry. So is stone, so is brick, I know. Concrete block, cinder block, whatever. I know, it's tough.
He also brought 4 pictures of other places that are in the same
Oh,
code.
he brought about 10 pictures.
4 of them were within, the others were maybe exaggerations, but 4 of them I saw was something he could use to argue his point.
oh, just tell somebody violates our deed restrictions and that doesn't get precedent for everybody else to do it, just because we didn't enforce one, and we gotta let everybody do it, that's the problem there.
That's right.
I think it brings down the value of everybody's house,
Yes.
and everybody, that's my personal opinion.
Just because they don't blend, they don't keep the same quality and elegance of houses, they don't blend anymore.
But I don't mind changing the ordinance, I just don't want the fact that we give this guy permission, they give everybody permission.
Yes.
And that's something I do not want to do. I'm going to turn him down and give everybody permission.
It doesn't give them value. It really doesn't. This is they apply for a variance. This is a one-time deal for this particular instance.
What happens if Gordon comes back next month, and he wants variance, and he gets this guy.
We're gonna want
We're
that.
gonna want variance. The cost Well, they compare to brick.
And, well, and plus ours is for my mother. It's a guest home for my mother. She's in her 70s and we're gonna be taking care of her. We cannot match our our 30-year-old brick for it to look decent.
We can match,
We can match the hardy
we can match
planks
the
that-
facial that we're putting on our house now, the gables, we can match that with the hardy plank, so it's
And
not
make
a,
it look
it's not
good.
a value.
What are you guys looking to build? What are y'all looking to build? A whole new home or just a garage for your
A
garage?
garage with
Just
an
a garage.
apartment above it for
Your
her.
garages are thought to be of just like material, which to me says hardy or whatever. You don't have to have 51% masonry on your detached
Yeah, that's
building.
different.
Or you have to require that on these metal buildings too.
So that's different.
I mean, there's another animal. Deed restrictions say no metal buildings, so.
Well, next thing, they'll have people putting mobile homes out there and say it's metal building.
There already
Yeah,
are, there's already a modular in there.
Road forest.
Really?
There's one on,
See, it's already happening.
there's a modular on Happy. Right over there.
I was gonna say.
But just to refresh people's memory, Gordon,
Yeah.
the city cannot enforce deed restrictions.
But that's an ordinance of the 51%
Okay,
says
yes.
brick. It's an
Well, people
ordinance.
keep using the word deed restriction. The city cannot enforce deed restrictions, period.
But
We don't even like that word. Okay? Ordinances, we can enforce ordinances, not deed restrictions.
Now, what's the ordinance say, brick?
Yeah.
It's
I
brick.
have a problem if that drawing is already approved by someone from Roman Forest, because they're gonna have a final drawing of
Because
the
it
house.
says masonry.
Yeah, but there's a final drawing of the house that whoever looked at had to approve it. So it's gonna show the front of the house, stone, and it's gonna show the bricks and garage, it's gonna show the hardy side, it's gonna show the left side, it's gonna show the right side. It's gonna show how much is stone and how much is hardy on that print, on the drawing. And everybody pay for that. So
Understand.
who approved that?
Understand, the company that we pay to do this, masonry is accepted
But,
by insurance companies.
but they don't
Yeah, but does he
read
know
your
that?
particular
Maybe,
ordinance.
maybe they,
They do read the ordinances,
but the thing is, maybe they took the word just like I would as 51% brick, stone,
yeah.
masonry. You know what I'm saying? It's all concrete. It's all,
Mayor, I don't know this, the last house built on Boulevard with a garage in the back. I'm not for sure, but I don't think it has anything other than architecture.
No, it has one whole side that is brick.
Oh, is it?
On the
Yeah.
sides, it's brick all the way up.
Stone,
It's on there.
stone, it's all the way up.
Or stone.
That's how you got the 51%.
Oh,
You stone one whole side to get the
Right.
51%.
The house is, but I don't know about the garage.
I think it's half,
Well, their garage is all hardy.
Yeah.
okay.
anyway, where do we want to go with this, guys? Come on.
We can't table it, obviously.
Change the ordinance.
We either vote for it or against it,
Before it get out of control.
and we can't change the ordinance tonight. But we have to give this guy an answer, yes or no. So that's where we're at right now. And no, we can't table it because we can't leave a builder setting for a month. So,
The ordinance says it has to be a certain. Yes.
But it's
But
already
it
been approved.
hadn't been approved, he was going by what he was given permission to do.
I mean, he's practically in my backyard with this, and I don't have a problem with it.
I think it's gonna look
I
good.
think it looks fine.
I think the hardy plank is fine. I don't have a problem with it. It's not pine, it's actually concrete board. I don't have a problem with it.
I make a motion that we accept the variance.
That we grant the variance.
Yeah, grant the variance for the home and teaching.
Okay. Motion on the floor, Councilman Garza, to grant the variance to Kurt Joslin
I
for
second.
104 Artesian. Second by Councilman Wallace.
Can I?
Any discussion?
Discussion, yeah.
Go ahead,
You
Chief.
got a motion on
I
the
just
floor.
want to caution you to define that variance very closely. Because.
Say it one more time, Chief.
Define that variance real tight, because if you make a variance, then that's an argument for another variance.
That's exactly what.
Yeah, let's build a mother-in-law quarters too.
He's got
They can
30%
build the whole
stone.
house out of carbon plate. They can make you work for it. You know, he's only got 30%, make it higher.
Well, right now you could go back in and say, we want it to go, like you just said, 32% or whatever.
Well, that's
At this
why we're in
point- At this
discussion.
point, there's no breakdown, There's hardy plank that stops right there. You could go back and say you need to raise the hardy plank up on the side another 2.5 feet, or 3 feet, whatever. Because all they do is take that off. And because you already got the brick ledge, you just raise the brick right enough to where it's tight or stone or whatever.
Wish you said that before he made that motion. I wish
No,
you said that.
That's what
We're in discussion, that's why we're in discussion.
Yeah, the discussion could change and you could go back in and amend your.
No, we're good.
Because at the point right now, what he's trying to do is move forward, but it's held up because the brick ledge is up to here where you put the.
On the side, yeah,
On the side.
I would like to see it go on the side.
The sides need to go up. I don't think there's any in the back. The back's probably gonna be all 100% hardy plank on the back of it. But the two sides, because the front, like you say, if it's got the stone on the front and all that.
On
then
two
that-
pieces.
That's, yeah, right in the very, where she's gonna live at, the girl. And then, but the two sides are only this level.
Well, they're like 3 feet, so it's easy to bring that up, right?
Yeah, you just take the hardy plank off and extend the brick on up to the next level.
Does he have hardy plank there right now?
Hardy plank is to that point right over the top.
Yeah, but
Can
you
you take off
you put hardy plank going up, you can't go back and pull that out without damaging the upper pieces either.
Well, you can do other things to add square footage by putting concrete around some of the poles and stuff like that. There's lots you can do to increase the.
Okay, okay, hang on. Let's go back to the original motion was to grant the variance that he does, okay, so with the variance, we're still saying he's gotta have so much brick. Is that what we're saying here, Tony? Because I'm just looking at the plans, he's got a lot of stonework.
Yeah. There is a lot of.
But see, we don't know the percentages because he's talking 51% masonry. He's counting stone and hardy plank as all of it.
Yeah, well, in his email here,
Yeah.
he put 70% as hardy plank, 30%.
That's what they calculated it.
Okay.
That's what he's telling me in his email.
Okay.
And it's,
I don't know, I mean, to me, I
30% average stone.
I don't have a problem with, I don't want a house that's 100% hardy. I don't
No.
want that.
No.
But that is gonna be a nice place over there. This thing back in the 70s where they put wood up in 10 years, you get, rots, this stuff.
Exactly.
It's not gonna rot within any time soon. I mean, that's just my opinion. I just don't think it's gonna be a bad place. I mean, I looked at some of those other ones around there that's what built in the 70s and 80s and it doesn't look too good. But, you know, they're there.
So Chris, if we grant this variance at 70/30, what are they gonna say when they won't 70/30?
Well, ours is a different situation according to the.
It's a variance.
I'm just throwing it out there, I don't know what, I'm just throwing it out there.
Well, I look at it this way. This is a one-time deal right here.
Why can't you include in his motion that since his plans were already approved, it's granted as a one-time motion? Wouldn't that stop other people, and then from then on, they have to clarify it?
Actually, we don't.
That was a crosswalk.
We don't have to because a variance means it is a one-time thing that whoever's here,
That was already crossed.
we've already done it, whoever's here.
It's for that specific property.
Yeah.
Gordon, what's your thoughts on this?
So the variance means that.
What's your thoughts on this?
My
What's your thoughts
Well,
on
that's
this?
the
Your builder out there.
build cheap, you can do.
My thoughts on it, I think you've got an issue because there's reserved lots in here that, my office, for instance, is all hardy. And the way I read it, some of the reserved or lots are unrestricted, but I'm not an attorney. And, but if I would probably have issue with you guys approve my plan, but there's a little difference between masonry and brick. That's what you need to look
I
at.
mean, look at the house right across the street, that's stucco and stone, that's not.
And I've had issues with the stucco homes on it, and I've done the stucco homes since because.
That's right
they're
across the
allowed.
street.
It's like metal buildings, people started putting metal buildings.
That's what I got a problem with.
Where do you stop?
Okay.
Front load drawings.
And to me, that hardy plank would be stronger than that stucco.
Of course it is.
Yeah, so, I mean, you know, and my problem is it's already approved, it's different if, you know, none of this was approved.
I think we have some apartment complexes in here that only half you away.
I think those are pretty much masonry art.
I'm talking about the old one.
Oh, the old ones, they're not masonry art.
These are the ones on top of the
What are the old ones?
Happy Way is unrestricted.
Commercial.
I mean, I'm sorry, commercial. reserve, Gordon, reserve lot means
Well,
unrestricted?
Or,
No, reserve lot means unrestricted, correct?
yeah, I look at it. but
That's all, I
I'm
think
not
it's
sure.
By definition, doesn't it mean unrestricted?
Yes.
No.
Yes, it does.
I think so.
But reserve lots say right here, it says, oh, I can't read that.
You don't have to walk.
However, I will say that ordinance 404, which is not part of the building packet because I was not aware of that ordinance, it defines a building apartment complexes, which this is a triplex,
Unrestricted.
be 51% brick.
It would, should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he know he's going into it?
He did not know that because I didn't know that ordinance existed, therefore it was not part of the building packet.
Well, that's why our building, that's why our plan review people passed it, because this is Lakeside.
Right.
That's why. Oh, no. And he's already got it passed with plan review structure school.
Hey, Mayor, look at Fountain View, that set of apartments there.
I know.
That's not good.
No, that's not even party, is it?
Been around long.
Okay, you know what? It doesn't matter. Any more discussion on the current motion? Because there is a motion on the floor. So I will throw this back out here again. Your motion stands, your second stands, motion on the floor, accept the variance, Kurt Joslin Construction. All those in favor of accepting this variance, this particular case? Unanimous. Now, with that being said, what's that ordinance number?
404 is the apartment ordinance.
No, it's not that one, it's the one for the one that was the deed restriction, we did the ordinance that
You're gonna have
says
to go
brick.
back and look.
Yeah, find that one, we have got to do something about it.
I'm gonna pull all the building ordinances out because they all need to be, they're all old. Permission to listen to my voice now, all these guys in there.
What's up, Dave? Go ahead.
No, I'll just, which one is it? Sorry.
Okay, on a lighter note, item 2, new business. Discuss, consider possible action concerning security system upgrades to City Hall. You know, this was Mayor Riggs, but I know he's wanting to get this taken care of. Chief, I might call on you again here, because I know you and Hank and the mayor probably have discussed this. We had some issues with our security system. The hard drive went out.
Hard drive went out, we replaced it.
Okay, all right.
But it can't handle, it's a 5-year-old system, it's not gonna handle everything that the mayor and, all of us want to do.
Right. And these are cameras that cover the front.
What we're asking for here, the camera right here, above the exit sign over here in that area, is gonna have a view over here with a mic, 2 mics over here that run to that feed, and then another camera on the other side of that brick wall facing the exterior door. That'll cover all exterior doors from the inside, and then another camera on the outside and the front. Because right now, a camera goes here and here, and faces back this way, and the front is uncovered.
Okay.
That being said,
If I go in more depth with that, we need to go in a closed session.
that being said, what you just said, security. We do not know how many people have a key to these doors.
True.
Oh,
That-
100% right.
And I have said that and said that. So I think that should be number one.
I know it's been,
It's gonna be my, that's gonna
since I've
be,
been here, and I've been here over 10 years.
yeah, it's gonna be my agenda item next month, Tommy, just to let you know. Yes,
I
matter of fact,
mean, you talking about security cameras, microphones and all that,
Right.
well, we changed some locks.
right,
Good point.
yeah. But that is, I would like that on the next, agenda list, please.
Security,
Keys.
keys.
Keys to City Hall. Discuss, consider, who the heck has keys?
Just change them and pass them out again.
Well, we can discuss it and change it.
Not counting,
Anyway,
not counting installation,
Yeah.
and maybe a few miscellaneous parts. The equipment that we want is $1,228. That's not counting a few little incidentals and Hank to install.
to install them.
Yeah.
What do you think we're gonna have a total,
I think he gave that to,
are we gonna be less than 2,000 on that?
I'd say if you just allow 2,500.
Yeah, okay, wait a minute, you've got the bid in here, or you've got the bill?
Yeah.
You've got the purchase order, we've already received the equipment, however, we can see it back, we have not opened it. So the cost of that was $1,228, and Hank told me verbally today $600 for installation.
Okay, so $2,000 would cover this,
Yes.
and with incidentals.
Yeah, I'd
Yes.
throw a little bit extra in there just in case. But,
Well, I'm only at 1828.
well, for example, the secretary just mentioned that she don't want to come in here and have a conversation with her husband while she's drinking coffee and it be on audio.
If he
She
comes
wants
up
to
here
have
for
a
lunch,
script
I don't wanna
going
be
on.
recorded.
And that's not bad. Right now, the way we ordered it, the recorder is constant. So, there might be a few little incidentals, and also, we're looking for this to be paid for outside of the budget. We don't want to eat into our current budget, where straight continues to be anyway.
Well,
All over is what you're
my
saying.
thoughts on this were, if we do want to go ahead and do this, the mayor has a discretionary fund that will cover this. How much? 2,000.
When did y'all approve that? 'Cause I don't remember ever being approved by council.
No,
Did y'all approve that?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it means he can spend $2,000 without asking permission, as long as he's doing it inside the budget. This right here, we're asking for outside the budget.
I understand that, that's what I'm saying, that we can actually pull, that being said, we can pull that from about 4 different accounts if we need to. What I'm saying is, it doesn't have to be
Right.
defined into equipment.
We're spending pennies on so many budget line items, we're going to use the rollover for this.
How about city improvements?
Yeah.
We got a lot of money there.
Exactly.
City improvements.
And we got infrastructure too, infrastructure, absolutely. But, anyway.
And the other thing is, the system that I have right now, which this is twice as big, plus it's 5 years more modern. We'll still have that system, it's still a good system, to add the cameras later if we want to use that somewhere else, such as the pool. So it might kill a couple stones, a couple birds, or however you say that.
So what are you gonna do with the old, what would you
The
do
old
with the
systems
old?
we won't throw away, and later on, if we want to add cameras to the pool or something, unless you want to do that now, just about 4 more cameras, hook into that system, we're good to go.
That's what Billy can do, Billy can put cameras on that.
Yeah.
You know, every time you get up here, you talk about money.
I'm not, this isn't mine, this is the mayor and Liz and all
We just
that.
lost you a top.
I'm not asking for this, this is them, I was just explaining it.
Okay, my thing is, I'm sitting up there at the front, and the police department are out doing their thing, I'm here at City Hall by myself. Somebody walks in that front door and comes to my door, nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Oh, you Richard, just pass it.
I have taser.
Security
Yes.
cameras are actually back to this. You're already done. They just get us when we go to court.
I know.
Lock it, put a buzzer there.
There's a sign for the front door that says, "We don't call 911."
They won't let me bring my concealed
Hey, she
in.
carries a taser. Our clerk, city secretary has a civilian taser. Yeah.
Why don't you just get access to the cameras? And obviously, you pipe it through your computer or your smartphone. You gotta tell me that. Tell me.
Yeah, cameras are just to prove something, or if something happens, you can go back.
Yeah, like that for the fact.
Yeah. It's, I want y'all to know what's hanging there, shield me.
Liz, at least be careful.
Okay,
Right.
where are we going with this, guys?
After we went up
You
there.
got the bid in front of you for the equipment?
I just made a note something.
Security upgrade. It's a security system upgrade.
Throw a little bit extra money in there, I can buy 4 more cameras for the pool.
How much are the cameras?
Up to what amount?
2,500.
Up to 2,500. Motion on the floor.
Chief, that covers your
Councilman.
4 cameras?
I think
Cameras
it's-
Hang on, we're not
Cameras are
discussing.
$69 each.
We got a motion on the floor, chief. Shh. Motion on the floor.
Accept the security upgrade with 2,500 on the budget. That should cover it.
Motion on the floor. Councilman Delaney. to accept the security camera upgrade not to exceed an amount of $2,500.
And wait a minute. Existing, including the pool.
Yeah.
That extra 500 should cover.
The cameras, but not the
So
installation.
69 piece.
If you raise it to 3.
You want to withdraw your motion?
I'll stay like that. I'm new to this too.
Well, you know, just like I said a while ago, we're talking about minimal money here. If you want to do one, do two.
Right.
I mean,
I go 3,000.
I will withdraw my motion to upgrade the security system camera to $2,500. Make a new motion to upgrade the security camera system with a budget of $3,000.
Okay.
Does that sound right?
Motion on the floor. Councilwoman Lane to upgrade existing security system with a new system not to exceed $3,000.
Don't put existing.
We have an existing. So
We
to
have
replace
brand-
the existing with a new system.
Replace the existing.
That's what I said.
Okay.
Wait, go ahead, do I have a second?
I second it.
Second, Councilman Peoples. Councilwoman Peoples, discussion, me. What line item are we taking this out of, guys?
City improvements.
Okay, which is.
Hey, Carlo, I got a question. Don't they only run off Wi-Fi? Like, you have to use Wi-Fi down there then by the pool? Because I know the ones here.
If you're gonna go receive,
Huh?
Unless you just have a DVR down there separate.
yeah, it'll be separate, but it does have a plug-in where you hook up to the internet.
Yeah.
And I think they provide you with some.
Yeah.
There is Wi-Fi.
There is Wi-Fi down here?
Yeah, but I had them at the Sugar Shack, and I just had DVR.
Okay. So that way you can, if you want to look at it on your phone.
Yeah.
Let's take it out for all of us.
Yeah, through the internet.
Yeah.
No, I didn't think of this.
You heard that,
I
didn't
think
you?
it was-
You did hear that.
The audience told me.
I was just explaining, I wasn't asking.
Okay.
City improvements.
I don't see no here yet.
Okay, we had, one of the previous minutes that we just approved tonight.
What line item?
Hold on a minute.
I know. We had, yeah, we put money in there.
Well, I got $100,000 in it. Of course, $84,000. I don't see it. It's missing.
Money's missing.
Okay, what was the infrastructure line item? Oh my gosh, it's killed.
Okay, here, we haven't, I haven't put it in the budget yet because the minutes weren't approved. In the minutes dated November the 18th, you guys made a decision to approve the resolution specifying the resolution, the GL number 62920, infrastructure expenditures for the uncommitted funds.
Yes, and we put what amount in there?
so they, cool,
Do you have that on there?
I don't have the rollover worksheet in front of me, but it was a lot of money.
Is they, I think it had, what, 82, 84,000?
That's what we put everything in.
62920, is that where you're wanting to take this from?
It adds up to council. Would you like to add that to the end of your motion?
Please.
And the funds to be taken from 62920. Do you agree with that second on that? Okay. We have a first and second. Funds to be taken from infrastructure expenditures. Any more discussion? All those in favor? Unanimous? Item 3, new business. Discuss, consider possible act concerning satellite system installations on residential lots and related matters as required. Mike? I think you're on this one, but Mayor Riggs was on the end of it. Mayor Riggs isn't here. Why don't you explain? Why don't you?
Glad to explain. Just had a concern. I had a neighbor that she lives next door to me, actually renting the property, they don't own it. But they had satellite systems put in, which they're done throughout the neighborhood, no issue with that. But they installed them in the front yard. And it's the only how I drove through the whole neighborhood looking to see if there any of these are done the same way. Not any of them that are installed on a pole in the front yard. I've seen one on the side of the house or something like that. Most of them on the houses. As I was talking to the satellite company that does this, they said that their boss doesn't know to put them on houses no more. So I have a concern that this could be a problem, potential problem in our neighborhood in the future. People just installing these in the front yard.
Sound like a money maker.
And
Because I
it's,
just had my cable, I switched cable companies, and mine was on the roof, and the guy came out, and he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to put it here on the side of the house. And I was like, you need to go stand where you wanna put it, let me take a picture of you and send it to my husband, because he's not gonna be happy
Right.
about that. And, so Ricky came home, and the guy said, no, that his boss doesn't let him put them on the roofs anymore.
right.
So it's, right?
And I understand that, but I think if you put them in the front of your yard, it's kind of hostile to the neighborhood. I mean, you start driving through the neighborhood, and now you're gonna, I mean, he didn't put one dish, he's got two dishes. He got one for his internet and one for the cable.
You know, a renter, though, right?
Yeah, he's a renter.
You know, here's the deal.
What's the dish
I've
network?
got one, mine's for internet and cable.
What, Mike?
Yes.
That house, I've known this house for 20 years. How come the one on the roof worked the way all that?
That's the same.
And it's still there.
Yep, it's still there too. It's,
I mean, how did it work and all of a sudden it doesn't work?
well, I think
Probably
it
a
was,
safety issue.
he said that first about it's the best place that they can get reception.
It looks.
But the one that was installed in the house is 10 feet closer to the house at a higher point, which would still get the same reception, but then he,
It's lower
but
than
then he
the one
said,
that is-
I can't put them on the house.
It's lower than the one on the house. It has more obstruction.
Well, I know there's nothing we can do about that now.
Right.
I'm mainly concerned about going forward.
Yeah,
If everybody starts installing the front of their yards, because that's all that they'll do.
That's something we got to research.
well, but I'm saying we need to research it because we did some extensive stuff in here. We did. One of our ordinances included things that could not be in that front yard. I don't think we specifically.
Not
Well,
that.
you
We checked
can't,
this.
you can't always,
You did.
Yeah. Well, Mayor.
Okay.
you can't be specific on everything.
No,
Because you'll never get it all.
That's right.
Never get it all.
But
But
I think they're full of.
I had one question out in the audience. I'm sorry, back there first. Go ahead.
Yes, so my problem is that damage the roof of the house. My roof was damaged by the satellite, and so they came and fixed it. That cost more than the insurance. They offered to me to put it in the ground, but because where I'm located, my signal will be rich, so they put it in the back of my house, just facing away.
Yeah,
So
which is fine. Yeah.
I don't see an issue.
I don't have other option where I put it.
So maybe it's a safety issue, maybe they were damaging people's roofs, causing
Maybe
leaks.
so.
I don't
Maybe
know.
so. And I understand that,
Yeah.
but in the
But
same
not in,
sense,
not in your front yard.
we talk about beautification of our neighborhood and stuff. The last thing you want to do is drive through the neighborhood and see satellite dishes in front of everybody's yard.
All right. Yes, ma'am, go
I
ahead.
want to say this. I would say 75% of all houses have a fireplace. Put it on the chimney.
Right, yes, ma'am, go ahead.
Ours is in our front yard, and I don't think it's nice, it's not what you're talking about, but the problem was a big, huge tree that's blocking the line of sight. But my question is, we're kind of getting, why don't we just get a homeowners association, because you're just telling, you're just getting closer and closer to what you can have in your yard, what you can have in
Well,
your yard.
I'll respond to that personally. I moved here because they don't have one of those. I'm not going to be told what color to paint my house, when to paint my house, and what trees.
What I have in my front yard and how big my ditch is.
And I don't want to pay them.
But on the other hand, I don't want to see trashy yards like in the rest of this country, that's what we bought.
Yeah.
But I don't want you telling me every little thing I can do and can't do either.
And I agree with you, ma'am. It is, it's kind of a give and take between a lot of different people. So that's what we are trying to do. figure out. I don't understand because everybody's satellite dishes, with the exception of yours, is usually on the house or on the back of the house.
We don't tell us twice though with our line of sight because of the big pine right
Yeah.
now.
And there may be special cases going on, absolutely. You may have one of Gordon's famous big metal buildings beside you. And not that you built them, Gordon, that's not what I meant, but,
And I understand, whatever is decided, that's what's decided. And it may be decided that y'all put an ordinance against this. Now, you can't do anything about the ones that are already installed. Those would be grandfathered.
Well, it has to be researched while they're doing this. Well, I mean, we've got to know why.
Right.
Right. You just can't say no.
I mean, it's an issue I'm gonna live with, but I don't know if it's an issue I'm gonna drive through the neighborhood.
Gotcha.
well, you know, a good friend of mine in here, Billy Goss, next door to him, he had a toilet on top of the roof that the people had taken out of the second story and set it on the roof out of the second story, and it was on the first story roof. We don't have an ordinance against that. But guess what? It needs to be taken down. So there is things out there that we don't have an ordinance against, but that doesn't make it okay. I guess that's what I'm saying. Might be common sense sometimes.
But you know, maybe.
Don't know yours, ma'am. I don't know. Yours is probably the
They
tree.
can't get reception.
But
Yes.
I
from
understand.
what y'all are telling me, this house had it on the roof.
Yes.
Like I said, I've lived in this street for 20 years.
Is
It's on the roof.
it dish? Is it direct? You
It
know?
doesn't matter.
It does matter. I want to know. It does matter.
I should know, I see it in the
Okay.
front.
I was just curious,
I don't know.
because I'm just curious if it's a company policy, because that would be something I could call and say, hey, it's your policy.
Well, I can tell you that Dish and Direct, all those, they hire contractors.
Yeah, exactly.
So it may be a contractor,
Yeah.
You know,
Maybe a
or it
company.
may not be Dish or Direct. Right?
I know they're gonna take the easiest route. They're not gonna wanna run all into the backyard, run the front to the cable. They're gonna pick the easiest job so they can get in. So they're gonna tell the homeowner, you know, this is where we gotta put
Yes. It's a money deal.
Well, I actually thought, I didn't think they were doing it based out of just being easy,
Yeah.
because they had to trench a line, they had to dig a pole, hole
Set a
for
pole.
pole, set a pole.
It'd have been easier to buy it on a house, wouldn't it?
Money.
Right.
it. Yeah, but I'm just saying,
Okay.
right here into the backyard.
So if I get called up there, I'll be sent away, that's fine.
All right, council, where are we going with this one? This is
We
item,
can't go over with it.
I don't know, this is item 3, so motion to table or,
I mean, we can't make a decision on this until we look into it. I mean,
I mean,
What can you do?
oh, she's over there. She's here. I thought she left. Okay.
Just like this.
Motion to table by Councilman Wallace. Motion on the floor, motion to table, second. Councilman Garza. Any more discussion on this? All those in favor of tabling item 3? Unanimous?
Thank y'all for bringing it up for discussion.
Thank you, Mike.
Oh, and I'll let you do.
Can't even thank
And this one,
Can't even say thank you.
no. Okay, here we go. Item 4, new business. Discuss and consider resolution 291-15. City of Romn Forest adopting the investment policy for 2014-2015 budget year. You know, Ray tried to explain this to me.
Okay, every year we have to, okay, it is important. I know the city doesn't have any investments, but we still need to adopt an investment policy every year.
They need to training this, right?
I did the training. I will be proposing some stuff in a couple of months. This is just a policy that says if you do have investments, who watches after them, how diligent you are at watching after them. Council would definitely be very much involved in making decisions on investments. But it's just a policy saying that, yes, we have an investment policy. And it's the same thing you guys adopted last year. It needs to be adopted every year.
Okay. Because we have to do that by state law.
Yes,
We have no investments, council.
correct.
So this is basically just procedural housekeeping.
Look how easy it be to keep up with.
Resolution.
We got no better.
It's, yes, I agree, we have to have it in place, and that's what Mayor's trying to explain to me. So,
I make a motion that we accept resolution 29-15.
okay, motion on the floor, Councilwoman Peoples, to accept resolution 291-15.
I second the motion.
Second, Councilman Garza. Any more discussion? All in favor? Unanimous, passes. Item 5, new business. Discuss and consider possible action concerning city council meeting video posting on social media and related matters. Councilman Lane.
Everybody shut off the camera.
Or Secretary Lane, I don't know which one.
Councilman Lane.
Yeah, Councilman Lane.
Okay, there we go.
No, we videotape these, and part of our campaign promise was that if you would be able to attend the council meeting, the council meeting should come to you. That's why I bought the camera. And I've been posting them, well, I had the ability to post them myself since they're privately mine. But I'd like the city to adopt this policy so the people who work late, work on swing shifts, work at night, the people who gripe and complain about this city that don't come, we can kill that excuse right off the bat. And if I want to post it on our website, we'll link up to social media, YouTube, something like that. Ray's in agreement with it. I think most of the council probably are, but I think if the city wants to get more involved, if they can't come here, let's bring it to the computer.
That remind me of every council meeting.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes we're going to make fools of ourselves, but we have to deal with that. But yeah, I think they can kill a lot of complaining, right? You need consistent going forward.
Put the rubber band on there.
Yeah, I need to put the rubber band.
How would they be able to,
View it.
Find it.
well, not view it, but if they couldn't come, have an input in, if they could just view
It wouldn't be
the
There would be no interactive, it would just be watching what we do here today. If they want interaction,
If
they
they wanted,
So I'm sure that a bunch, but city of Pasadena has on TV.
They do, that's very expensive to,
Well, I'm not saying let's do it on
Yeah.
TV, I'm just saying.
I think streaming it live is cost effective, but you know, we can put it up, 3 or 4 days, a week later, just sometime, that way we can refer somebody back to that meeting. If they want to know why they can't put a satellite in their front yard or whatever, they can come back and hear the discussion we had. And so that way we don't have to explain ourselves over again. And plus, I think it'll just keep the citizens more informed of what's going on in their city and their council. I think with the modern times, it's economically viable to do. It's not going to cost anything. The equipment's paid for.
well, and I want to also add that as soon as we can figure out, because as you are aware, our old recording system is not here anymore because it was not functioning.
Sure.
So shortly, I will be adding to the agenda to put a city camera with mics and speakers to where you can project so people in the back row can hear, and we will also be recording it on city
We're gonna have
equipment.
that security system in place.
That's not.
Those
not the
cameras,
same
mics
thing.
don't work. No.
And Chief, you can just burn a DVD of the meeting, right?
I could, but the security is less quality than what y'all want.
Yeah.
It would be something to hold.
Are you
up.
saying we just approved an inferior system?
No, it's not an.
No, it's security.
But it's
He
not.
said the security.
It's not, no, it's security, but it's not,
High definition.
yeah, it's not like media quality. But this probably does a better job than what the security camera would do.
That just got shut down on TV.
Huh?
That just got shut down on television.
What?
Okay, shut up.
Okay.
I would compare it like that video of the kids that were, I'm just serious, I'm not joking, like the video of that was pretty good.
Yeah.
That would be desirable, that.
Okay, this video would appear where?
Well, I'd like to appear on our City of Roman Forest Facebook page and our cityofromanforest.org, a link to it. That way, when you watch it, what I like to do is when you watch to our city website and you see the meetings, the agenda, the minutes, right below it, you got a link to the actual meeting itself.
Okay.
So I want to post it there and also the city's Facebook page. And from there, it can spread wherever it wants to be from
It doesn't cost anything to host it on YouTube.
Okay.
We would have to open a YouTube account, and of course, the secretary would always be in charge of getting the posting out there.
Well, we've already got a City of Roman
She's trained in
Forest.
social media now.
No, and that's where I was going, and no disrespect, David, I'm telling you this. My thoughts were, if one of us, as an individual, was posting this and representing the city, I would rather it be posted officially from the
Sure,
city.
that's what I'm asking.
Okay,
That's
good. That was my concern on that, because I wouldn't want to post anything and represent myself as the sole representative of the
No,
city.
the only ones we posted so far was the debate. And me and Rick thought maybe, Ray thought that would be a good idea to post the debate. But wait till the first of the year to post anymore, not to be politically, biased one way or another. That's why I'm asking for it now. I can't put the other ones, the last, from the debate, this going forward. If you'd like, we can start going forward with this now, or come to swear
You
in.
shamed me on that video.
What's that?
You shamed me
On where?
when I was so weak at the debate.
You shared it with everyone. I was your biggest supporter.
Okay, so you would be
I would be in charge of getting it posted,
posted,
yes.
okay, there's gonna be a cost factor involved, obviously.
No.
Not right now.
No, okay.
Now, later on, if you want to get your own
You can
camera.
borrow our
What
own
did
camera.
Gordon say you're gonna cover?
I say somebody needs to do makeup on you guys.
I think that's a great idea there.
And when do you want the meetings effective?
You want to go from the swearing in of me and you, or from the debate, the last couple meetings of the council?
Or January 1?
January 1.
Even the one where you fill out the check.
That was the last one.
Hey, start it after the one where Connie was rude to me.
Oh, yeah, I posted that. Actually, that one got posted too, by the way.
Oh, I did, I know.
Jill recorded and posted that.
Right.
How you gonna do all this stuff? You are the city dog catcher.
Hey, and the computer guy.
Okay, all right, okay, so where y'all wanna go with this? Okay, so start at January 1. Started at the swearing in, new
I'm
council.
swearing in.
I say swear again.
Okay.
All I need, guys, is a motion to get this in motion, and there's no cost on it. Connie, you'll appreciate that.
I'll make a motion that we approve putting the meetings on the YouTube and
Social media.
social media.
Motion on the floor, Councilwoman Peoples, to start airing our council meetings, dirty laundry, on video, social media, postings.
I second that.
Second by Councilman Lane. Any further discussion? And there's no cost. Okay. All those in favor?
Thank
It
you,
is
Joe.
unanimous.
Start dressing nicer.
Yeah.
You go slick that.
Yeah, he
I
is.
knew I was gonna do this.
Move on. If you leave prayer next time. Okay, item 6, new business. Discuss, consider resolution number 312-15. City of Romn Forest adopting a performance evaluation policy.
This came as part of the audit that these city employees did not have a documented evaluation policy. So Carlisle and I and the mayor sat down and decided the best time to give employees evaluations would be before the budget is final. That way you could, if increases were to be given, you would not necessarily, you would not be voting on who gets how much, but you would be voting on how much could be spent on salaries, and based on evaluations, the money could be divided. And so August would be the best time, the way they're completed in August. September, you are approving the New Year's budget to begin in October, and go from there. But, this year, I made sure the court clerk and Elizabeth and I had evaluations. And Carlisle is in charge of doing the police department evaluations.
We've always done a calendar year.
And he actually gave a class on employee evaluations for the police department. And so the mayor is now trained on how to give the police
police chief, his evaluation.
So did y'all write this a resolution or did you borrow it?
The mayor wrote it.
Well, here's my deal on this thing. Valuations are a great thing. Everybody needs to know their ups and downs. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Now, I think that department heads evaluate their employees. And then they go to the mayor, and he's the city manager, and he makes that decision. I mean, you talk
And
to
that's how it happened.
him, you talk to
That's
him.
exactly how it happened this year, when I did Kim's evaluation, and I did Elizabeth's evaluation, and I had to do a self-evaluation, and I did an evaluation, we sat down and prepared notes and turned them into the mayor.
He makes final decision. And he is the city manager.
Right.
Make a motion, we accept resolution number 312-915. Resolution 312-15.
All right, motion on the floor, Councilman Blaine, to accept resolution 312-15.
Does this apply to all departments?
This is for the city, not for you.
Well, if I can't go to write city policy, so if there's a specific date in there, that means I need to change my date for my evaluations.
Give it 1 second, chief. Motion on the floor, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, I have a second.
Question.
Councilman Wallace, now we're in discussion. Go ahead.
Okay. When were all evaluations done? I mean, everybody turned them in? So
No.
we'll all be on the same page?
No, there were, I don't believe you got an evaluation, nor did maintenance give an evaluation.
Yeah, I haven't, actually, police department evaluations are being done this month. They're due January 31st. If this passes, then that's going to override mine, and I'm going to change mine, so I'll be evaluated again in August, which I don't mind.
I think that's a good month to do it.
It's perfect, that's fine. I don't mind changing. It's irrelevant.
So I think
Everybody understands.
Yeah, we all understand why we want to do it in August.
Yeah, and here's the other deal. The mayor has to evaluate department heads.
Yes.
I mean, it goes from the top to the bottom.
Right.
And then we evaluate the mayor.
And we can cut his pay. That was a joke.
This evaluation was council.
Wait, so to answer your question, chief, yes, this does, you are one of the departments.
Yeah. So I'm going to complete my evaluations for this month, and then I'll do it again in August, which is no big deal.
Okay.
But I didn't get an evaluation last year, and
If
I
this-
should probably get one this year too.
If this passes, and I think it's probably going to, why would you still do?
Because I do other things. I do like my officer awards. I get an officer award ceremony I do, and I get that through the
Enough said.
evaluations.
Okay, we're good. Enough said. Okay.
This came up on the audit, this is a result of the audit.
Yeah, well, Ray and I have talked at length on this.
Okay.
Yes, so
So,
I'm very
yes.
familiar with it.
So
So
then
I'll
we need
go
to,
forward now,
Mhm.
and then I'll just do it again in August.
Okay.
And then I'm good.
And you understand why the August thing is there?
I do.
Okay,
I do.
because of the budget meeting?
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
But I need to be evaluated.
I'll do
That's
it.
my point.
I'll do it.
I have, well, seriously, I
Motion was-
haven't been evaluated this year. I should be evaluated with everybody
I'll
else.
back
I don't know that.
I'll wait till-
Malay,
Yeah, that as well.
I'll get you.
Okay.
we need to have,
Yeah,
uh,
that's two of the city.
all employees that have not been evaluated need to be. So Glenn has to be evaluated.
Oh, see, bless. I do a better job than that.
Okay, any more discussion, council? Okay, motion on the floor, Councilman Mullane, seconded by Wallace to accept, resolution 312-15. No more discussion, all those in favor? Unanimous?
It's all business.
You guys are too easy tonight for me.
Get in there, Kyle.
I gotta find one for Councilman Wallace here somewhere.
You what?
I gotta find one for you here somewhere. Let's discuss,
I'd go home.
no, I was gonna do alarm with you. Alarm service. I don't wanna get you wound up. Item 7, new business, discuss, consider possible action concerning city employee vacation accruals and related matters. David?
Actually, this is my wife. We didn't distinguish whose first name we put on that one. That's
This
her.
is actually mine. I thought the mayor would put it under his name, under Rick's, but he didn't, so it's kind of confusing. But, I am proposing that we change the accrual policy so that the accruals are done January through December on a calendar year, and that vacation becomes available January 1st of the following year. As they are now, it's from hire date to their anniversary date, and of course, everyone has a different anniversary date, so when to roll over their vacation is, you gotta constantly keep an eye on it. I've taken over the police department accruals, as well as doing the city accruals, and, the long-term impact is that a new employee hired mid-year would have a partial prorated vacation to take as of January 1st of the next year. The short-term impact is that the employees that are working now would get a partial accrual on top of their available now that would take them from their anniversary date to December 31st of 2014. They would get a partial accrual and would roll into their available as of this year. So I have put a spreadsheet together to show you. The first employee on the spreadsheet accrues, has 10 years of service. Vacation remaining at the end of 2014 was 108 hours. The partial accrual from their hire month to the end of the year, 2014, would be an additional 68 hours. So that means from January 2015 through December 31st, 2015, you would have 168 hours to take. And so that shows you, going down the list, how many hours these employees would have to take, would have available to take this year. It just makes it easier. That way, at the end of the year, when I'm doing the year-end process, cutting W-2s, doing the unemployment insurance, roll the accruals over, here's what everybody has available, instead of having to actually look at each person every month and say, okay, do they have new available this month? No. Do they have new available next month? No. Who's, you know, it's just easier. Our system, QuickBooks, is not as robust as you may think it is. It has vacation accruals in there. It's not very user-friendly. It doesn't have sick accruals. It doesn't have holidays. It doesn't have any of the work rules behind it. So I have to keep floating holiday accruals, sick accruals, and everything else on employees anyway. So I don't plan on putting the vacation accruals in QuickBooks because it's really a waste of time. It would be easier for me to have everyone roll over their available on one day of the year.
So it's not a accumulated amount, so many hours for so many days of work. And I should know this, but
So
somebody that's been here a year.
currently,
Kim
the
was
way
here a
it is,
year. How much-
currently the way it is, Kim would not get vacation until February for her anniversary date,
Okay,
and she would get 2 weeks.
so we get 2 weeks. Is that just vacation? Is it split up into personal and sick days? Is it?
Sick days, you're available to take as soon as you accrue them.
So somebody hired into your department, chief, that was hired on July 1st,
Come January, they get 1 week instead of 2.
instead of 2, so it'd be prorated.
Yeah. it'd be-
Yeah, it goes by the hour.
Okay. Because like
And I'm also
their
proposing,
rate, the
Right.
rate of, okay.
I'm also proposing that if they're hired on the 1st to the 15th of the month, that they have a full accrual for that month. And if they're hired on the 16th to the end of the month, they don't get an accrual until the next month.
Right, that's fine.
Or, and also, you have to have at least 3/4 of the month of paid time, no matter if it's sick time, vacation time, but you can't take a month of leave and come back and get your accrual for that month.
I understand why you're trying to get all of these on a, I mean, I understand.
On a schedule.
Because they're all over the place. aren't
They're all
they?
over the place,
Well,
yes.
Yeah, when we do that on our job.
Yeah, how do
We
you
have,
do it, Chelsea?
well, what we do is we have over 200 hourly employees,
Okay,
and it goes by anniversary day.
really?
And, yeah, and salary is January 1.
Karen, how do y'all do it in its spirit?
We have all this. Some-
No, I mean, y'all that work there.
We accrue a certain amount, depending on how long we've been there,
Okay.
per pay period.
Per pay period.
But we don't have to wait a year to take most, some companies do that, some don't. But we accrue, and so it accrues, you know,
As you
throughout the year. And so, like you've been there 6 months and you've got a week already accrued, you can take that week. Like that.
So yours is, you get so many hours for time
But it's
work.
PTO, it's paid time off, it's all, it's either sick, vacation.
It's all
personal
thrown into
time.
one.
That's
Right.
what I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Do y'all have a policy in place that tells?
Well, we
employees
know how they accrue their
Yeah.
time. We
do
just,
our anniversary date, plus we get a half.
And anniversary day, it's more time consuming anniversary day.
It is.
It
is for the person
that's
keeping the
keeping
records.
the records, absolutely.
it is, yeah. So
It
she
is
just wants to get
better.
them all
We
on one
discourage that.
schedule, and I can understand
It's
that.
better to do that.
With that being said, some people, not saying any names, just fix to accrue a bunch of time.
Yeah.
He's laughing now. But at least this is it. Then it's,
That's okay.
then it's scheduled, then we do it.
No, I mean, he goes on, you know,
I know.
said, trips.
So I know.
He loses a lot of his hours here.
I've only been on one trip so far.
We're counting.
Work county.
I got something to throw in there too.
Go ahead.
I had I don't now, but I had a problem when she first brought it up, because you're talking about everybody's got expired, so we gotta use it or lose it thing. So everybody's got expired
That's
December
important.
31st, and that's gonna put me in a rush telling the officers, hey, you better hurry up, take your time. Then I can't have two off, or too small. I can't have two off at the same time on vacation.
And you
You
know,
know what we do on that?
and looking at this
We'll
list,
give you a certain period of time. When it comes into December, we're gonna buy it.
Well, see, the city don't buy it.
It's the same as, it's all the same.
Well, if we, while we're doing all this, if you throw in there some kind of a thing where the city might buy some of that, or let you carry over some of it.
We don't carry
then it wouldn't put-
no carryover.
Well, I also discussed with
If the
him
city
about,
purchased it, I mean, I wouldn't have already.
it would be easier with this schedule for you to have the officers bid in January and say, tell me what, like you were saying,
Yeah,
have them bid and say, tell me what you're gonna take for vacation the rest of the
I
year.
tried that last year, it didn't work out so.
Well, if they don't bid it, they don't get it.
Well, here's what we
Well, they
do.
still.
We have a calendar. High seniority, go
Right.
number one.
That's what I'm doing
The
right
first
now.
week,
Mhm.
the first week, high seniority takes,
And you know what, last year I had to
Second
tell them that you can't take your scheduled vacation. I had to do that a couple of times. and
I know.
That's probably best left for another discussion.
So, Chief, you're just gonna have to deal with it for basically a year, okay? And then it's gonna fall into place after this.
Well, no, the conversion, that's fine. I'm talking
Okay, you
about.
good with that?
I'm talking about use it or lose it. It comes down to there. And I'm telling the guys, you can't take it.
Okay, so what happens if they can't take it? What happens?
They lose it.
they lose
Well,
it.
then,
I'm
if
all
they
saying
cannot
that's what we
take it because of whatever, I mean.
Can't
go to
Then it should be.
Well, then you buy it.
Yeah.
If they're told they can't take it, then it should be.
Well, if you allow me to buy it, I will.
No, I mean, it
I
push
think
comes to
that's-
shove, you
I
gotta
had
do
to
that.
give up 8 days last year.
I think it's gonna be on an individual basis, though. I think it has to be looked at on an individual thing. I don't think we can just across the
No,
board.
he has to make that call.
If you give me the authority to do it, I'll do it fairly.
He has to make
Or
that
they
call.
can't carry it, they either pay out or.
Because I know what I told them I can't do. I know
You're
such
right.
officers I've canceled their vacation.
I mean, he's got to tell him, man, he can't take it.
You're right. I understand.
If you give me that authority, I won't abuse it, guaranteed.
So what's the difference why can't they get paid for it?
Because it's not a policy.
We don't have the
says
policy
that
right now.
They only get that, we can't pay, we can't buy.
Because our handbook says you lose it.
You use it or you lose it.
That's a
What we do, that's the way we go.
That's the way
I
my
lost 3
plans
weeks
are.
last year.
Yeah.
But Dora has a pretty good policy. If you like, I can. back to the table next month.
Do that.
But Laura has a birthday.
Keep letting people research that, we'll put it on the agenda.
They'll buy like 50% or 40% of your vacation once a year,
It's very
certain
good.
criteria and stuff like that.
The good thing is that you put that calendar up the first few years,
That's what I just did, yeah.
and you let the top seniority guy come in tomorrow,
Thank you.
then
Good night.
the next guy, the next guy, the next guy. If you do not let them build up on you, and you block them.
And that's what I'm doing this year. I tried it last year and it was kind of loose. This year I'm being more stern.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, David had a good point. You gonna bring us something that we can look at that the department has in place?
Yeah, that's the door right next to me.
So I make a motion that we table it until he gets the information.
Motion on the floor, Councilwoman Peoples, to table item 7, new business. Second. Second. Councilman Garza,
Oh, yeah.
any further discussion?
Yes.
I asked that you don't table this particular thing.
Right.
Let me bring the other one up as a,
Well, it is my catch up later.
well, we can always move the table down.
Motion's on the floor, motion to table, it's been seconded. All those in favor to table? Unanimous?
This will be the one for you then.
It's already done.
This is January.
No, it's too late, next year.
Go back.
We'll wait till next year.
We'll go to your own.
Well, it's not too late. We gotta wait till next year.
It's not too late. This is January.
No, I think that goes.
So we can back that, we can,
Put a second with it.
There's a wonderful word that was created called prorate.
Are y'all hungry?
Okay, here we go. Let's see. There's no need to go to closed executive session. Council concerns, future agenda items. Anybody? I want on the next meeting.
Got it. I've got it on my notes.
Who has keys, what keys to what? Yeah, that needs to be addressed.
Okay, on this thing that we just tabled, so now we can't revisit it until next year, or what?
No, he's just saying this year's done because it's
Well,
January.
well,
He lost a month.
it does affect an employee that's getting ready to leave, so,
One employee.
yeah, she's gonna lose
Well, I'm saying
6
that
7 hours.
I'd like to see what they have in place on that. I mean, I didn't want to just
She's
focus
gonna
on
lose
this,
6
okay, here it
7
is.
hours when she's leaving.
Well, we can address things individually.
Yeah, I think she should still get paid for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the world wants.
Okay, concerns, future agenda items. Anybody, everybody's good?
I make a motion, we
Motion to adjourn. Councilman Peoples, second by Councilman Lane.
That's my job.
All those in favor to adjourn, show that it's unanimous. The time is 9 o'clock on the dot.
Hey,